Well, I clicked the button anyway. Oh dear me.
We are live. We're just waiting for him to say something.
Live? I think we're live.
We are. It's ticking away.
Can I see the comments
yeah,
or
but
not?
on my screen it's not. Well, anyway, I hold my hands up. My computers went a little bit fritzed. Anyway, okay, so what now? Everyone okay? Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, but your internet is getting pretty bad.
Yeah, it froze again.
Okay. So anyway, welcome along to the Evil Dead live stream. Do you think it's getting bad? Yeah. I think it's, I mean, I'm on the screen myself, but I think that it's probably not that good, the connection, which I don't understand why. Got me bars on going all right. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
At this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not really?
Yes, we said yes.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you see us?
Okay. Right. Anyway, welcome.
Welcome to the Norman Collier Show.
Well, this is the Evil Dead video special. What Mikey down below, the more fantastic Evil Dead collection. We keep going on about it. Yes, I know. So what's it like? Is it breaking up all the time?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Because can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit
at this moment, yes.
You're
very low res, and like you say, you're freezing, but the sound seems to be okay at the minute. But when you was doing your intro sort of thing just now, it was totally breaking up.
Yeah, isn't it? I don't know what's how to get to solve this because yeah. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do at this point.
Go around to Nige's house.
I'm gonna get the other laptop going. See what happens there. Amongst yourself. You talk amongst yourself. I'm going to start this laptop and see if I can get that one going. If I can, I'll swap over. Okay?
Yeah.
You can tell it's not pre-recorded, can you, boys and girls?
Can you hear us? No.
Right.
Talk amongst yourselves. Well,
live. Is it live now?
It is. He's left it live, yeah. But yeah. Did you enjoy Maiden while we're waiting?
Absolutely fantastic.
Excellent stuff.
Fantastic. I thought they sounded incredible. Like you said, as good as it was definitely wasn't as good as the Legacy of the Beast. It's a little bit generic for them, I think, actually.
I think it was a bit rushed, though, because I think it was an afterthought, because it was supposed to be a full Senjutsu tour, wasn't it?
Yeah. But, like, back in the day, these like, I know it's, as long as it visually looks good, but back in the day when they done the Seven Sun tour, and you had, like, the icebergs, and the book was sort of free, sticking out of the scenery and all, and all the bits of stage was all, like, I don't know, made of resin or something. This just seems to be a load of scaffolding with flags hanging off it. Yes, it does look good, like from a certain angle, but the closer you are,
but nowhere near as good as the other stuff did.
It seems, like you said, a little bit by their standards, kind of. Yeah, just a little bit. I maybe I'd like him to sort of step it up a little bit. I mean, I know it's not all about stage show, but definitely Legacy of the Beast definitely was more ambitious, I think, as a stage production.
I think the big inflatable Eddie at the end, at the Iron Maiden song underneath, like behind the drummer. Yeah, I thought that should have been the Senjutsu head with the fangs and everything. I thought they copped out.
I actually thought that was quite poor because it just looked like a yellow balloon.
It was just, it was just it was that like Japanese artwork style, and it's nah.
Yeah. Now, when you compare that, even though it was still an inflatable, you compare that to the Eddie and the Legacy of the Beast.
Exactly. That was amazing.
that was amazing. It looked, proper evil, and this one just looked a bit, but amazing show. He sounds so good. I mean,
I know his voice, man.
Yeah, because the set list, like yourself. Well, not so maybe not so much like yourself. I do like Fear of the Dark, but I think it's about time they dropped it for something else. But it's just such
I used to love it.
Yeah, it's just played too much, isn't it? I think it's
It
been played
is.
every
It's
doesn't
absolutely sickening me to death.
Yeah.
I can stomach the studio version. It's all the live audience wars that gets right up my nose. And now they're starting to do it every bloody song.
Yeah. And I think that's where they do it, though, because it gets such a good reaction. That looks clearer, John, at the minute. I have to say.
Well, I don't know if you can hear us, but I'm trying to get your thing plugged in, so...
yeah, that's better, isn't it?
Does that look better?
Pitch is better already.
Yeah. You're not stuttering, yeah.
Right, well, that's us on my computer, my new laptop. I don't
that's
think
loads better.
It hasn't got any headphone jacks. So can you hear that?
Yeah.
Sound?
Yeah. I can hear you, yeah.
I can also hear myself echoing back, though.
Yeah. But it's not massively annoying. I was just yeah, I could hear myself then.
See?
Well, I can see
it's not,
it's not breaking up for me. This looks like a much better connection.
It is.
This is definitely better than before. Couldn't have really done it the other way because
anyway, take two. Welcome along to the Evil Dead.
Good evening, everyone.
Stream. And right, I'll just get all this garbage off here. I've got loads of things coming up, like when you start your computer up and all that. Would you like to buy antivirus rubbish, all that type of twaddle?
I'll have to.
Anyway, so Evil Dead stream at last. You can hear us now?
Yeah, sound perfect.
Yeah, right, that's good. So what we're going to do is what we do with all the live streams. We're going to, with the video nasties, we'll start off with a few little things about the Evil Dead, a little behind the scenes that you probably Mikey knows everything about this, but I found a few things out on the net that might be semi-interesting. So we're going to talk about the Evil Dead mainly on this one, because that's the only one that was ever banned, put on the Section 2 video nasty list.
Are we not going to
Evil
cover
Dead
the second? Yeah.
It's a 7.4 on Internet Movie Database, which I find so low. I would have put it much higher than that.
Yeah.
At least a 9.
I was going to say I'd give it a 9 or a 9.5, like.
Yeah, definitely. So it's directed by Sam Raimi, of course. It's also known as Heaven Woke Up in India.
Right.
La Casa in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Possessio Infernal in Spain. In the Woods is the working title. Sam Raimi's Evil Dead and Book of the Dead is a US premiere title. And it was first shown on the 15th of October 1981 at the Redford Theatre, but it wasn't released until the 15th of April in the US in 1983. But it was released in here in the UK on the 17th of Jan 83. Had a budget of $370,000 and it grossed 2.7 million. And it says also 29 million. Don't really understand that one. And a Palace video release was on VHS in the UK. It was the 24th of Feb 83. And the 1st of September 85 was the not guilty sticker was stuck on the videos. Probably more about that later on from Nige. We've already talked about that briefly. So that's the bit of the blurb out the way. And Nige says we're going to kind of show, well, me and Nige are going to show our paltry Evil Dead collection compared to what Mikey's going to show you. So I'm going to just say that's my US 4K. Got a slip on actually, which I'm more than pleased to have, like that. It's a travesty that the UK hasn't got the slip on it. But it looks pretty good actually. Looks a lot better than I thought it was going to look. So that's my only entry into this Evil Dead stream. How about you, Nige?
I've got the US Blu-ray on Anchor Bay. It's nothing snazzy. You don't get no like posters out, just the disc. And then I got the Cine Edition 4K.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
Which I think the disc itself, I think the cover itself is the same artwork as the US one that you've just shown.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never opened them. You get some art cards. And then you get the 4K and the Blu-rays in there as well. With that god-awful artwork. I hate that.
Yeah, it's not the best.
And you get a poster. It's only one-sided. It's only little, but that's the original US artwork.
Yeah, nice.
It doesn't go in there. It goes just slides in the bloody box, doesn't it? What an aegis. And then I have this wonderful documentary called Invaluable that I still haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
That our Mikey sent me. I do have the Blu-ray of the remake, but I don't think it's the unrated one. No, it's rated R. I thought I had the unrated one.
Unrated, the way to go in it, Mikey.
I do have the 4K, the UK 4K for Evil Dead 2, but I can't find it. It's in a box out there. Same with the Scream Factory 3 disc Blu-ray. I won't get the 4K because there's only the theatrical cut in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Might as well keep the one I've got. I've got season 1 US with the lenticular slip of Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've got season 2 with the slip, but it's out there somewhere. And I know somebody's got the original soundtrack, but you can't get it anymore. So I had to get the Reimagining one.
Yeah.
Which is a double.
Yes,
that's Graham Humphreys again.
Yeah. Well, absolute legend.
And the colour of this, wow, this looks edible. Look at that.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's nice.
Look at the other side.
Oh,
amazing.
I have got it, but I forgot.
That is gorgeous, isn't it? But that's both discs are pretty much the same. It's like that on both sides. Download code as well. Look at that. And the only other couple of things I've got. I do have an Ash figure, but as soon as I find that, Mikey's getting it. I did have all 3 variants of this, but I sold 2 of them. But I've got the Evil Dead 2 subscriber variant, which I think is the Henrietta coloured vinyl.
I don't know. I don't know which version I got, actually, seeing that now.
Ash is red, blue, and brown.
Right.
Then there's a yellow one, which I think represents the car. This is Henrietta, which is blue, yellow, and red.
I think I must have the Ash one then. Yeah. Nice.
That was the subscribe one, but that was also the nicest colour. So I thought, I'll keep that one. Unfortunately, I don't have the Army of Darkness soundtrack. I think it's the only one I don't have, obviously, as well as the original Evil Dead. But my last thing that I've got is the soundtrack to the remake.
Yes, I have that,
Which is gorgeous.
Nice.
Very first image I saw of that.
I would. This is, if I remember rightly, it's like a nasty brown. It's like a reddy brown with a greeny sort of. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But somebody was saying this is it's not easy to find now, this one.
No, I don't know. Maybe not.
But so apart from the ones I haven't shown but I've got out there, that's probably about it for me.
So before we get into sort of Mikey's stuff, what I'll do is I'll do is, if you don't mind, Nige, I'm going to kind of be going through the comments here, but I'm going to put some of them on screen, so they'll be shown on screen, even if I can't get around to sort of answer everyone.
Do I need to see the
time
comments? Or I can't see them. I don't know how to bring them up.
Well,
do I need to see
them up
them
on the screen.
Oh, the comments will come up as he puts them up usually.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You
you'll just send me the
could
ones
probably
relevant.
see them on yours, Mikey, on the side,
Sorry?
maybe.
Sorry.
I've never seen them before.
All right.
What?
Well, yeah. I'll be showing you on here.
Unless I'm just pressing the wrong thing.
I just don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring them if they ask something because I won't see them. So if you let me know what's being said, then...
Yeah, that's great. And there's I think the last time I did a stream with being you, Nige, it was about 350 comments. So it's really tough to get through them on the 3-hour slot. We'll try and get through as many as we can. Even some of them might just put the screen so you'll get to see them. But we'll try and bring up some good ones for if they're asking you some questions about what you've got. I'll definitely put them up for you, and you maybe talk about them if you've got any sort of, like in more stuff on it.
I do have a dodgy Evil Dead Rise as well, but I couldn't possibly say where I got that from. But I am going to get the 4K.
Yes.
Is it out yet?
Next Monday.
I think it's coming out this month.
Right.
Yeah, 17th or something like that. I got 7 copies ordered.
Why 7? All different or all the same?
Oh yeah. Different. I got DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, Steelbook twice because I want to keep one sealed and open one. So how many is that now? 5? Is that 5?
Yeah.
And I got
4 or
2
5.
American
Blu-ray and a DVD coming from Italy with the Italian title.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
I don't know when I get the Italian ones. It'll probably come a little bit later. But...
Is that all of them that's going to get released, or do you think there'll be a
few
more?
No, there'll be one in the States as well.
Yeah. I'll just pick them up as I go along. I mean, it's what I've always done, really. I mean, unless you sort of like it'd be a super limited edition or something like that, and then I'll usually just pick it up when it gets a bit cheaper or something. If it's little differences, I'll just pick them up as I go along. Why I jumped at the Italian one is because of the different title. Like the US one's going to look almost the same, but I will get it. But I'm not in a rush to get it. You know what I mean? But with the Italian one, having a different title, I don't know if it's a different title on the screen. I don't know, but on the box it is. So I thought, grab that one. Oh,
yeah. I mean, as you say that these are all different, but as you can see from the Evil Dead, the first one, you've got quite a few similar ones.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, there's. I mean, it's the amount of things that we're going to talk about tonight is and blow people's minds really. For when you talk about collecting, there's collecting everything, and then there's Mikey's collecting of the Evil Dead. That's the way I look at it. There's things in this collection that you don't even think could exist, or have even been a thing, and they are a thing, and you just think, wow. That's the best part of your collection there, Mikey. It's like a revelation. Everything you can pull out, it's like wow.
Yeah.
And that's good. There's not many collections that you know of that you can do that. You might get a few really old retro stuff, some presets. You can think, wow, I haven't seen them for ages. But there's a lot of stuff in yours that when you pull it out, you just say, wow, that's.
But as I've said, before, it's over time. That's why I've got so much. Of course, I'm looking for Evil Dead stuff all the time. I mean, there's barely a day goes by when I don't go on eBay, like to see what's new or what's been put up new. But this length of time is why I got so much. I mean, it's I mean, when the film first came out, I saw the collected stuff, like 13, but that would have been magazine articles or newspaper stuff or things like that. Anything, because I never had money as a 13-year-old and things like that. So obviously, as I got a job, then things become more available. There's no internet then, was it? So it was more difficult to find stuff. To go to like conventions and movie mats and stuff like that. So when eBay came along, obviously it just opened up doors, but a lot more stuff. But
it was a thing like like the sort of movie, the record fairs. You saw record fairs, always movies there, cassettes, bootleg cassettes of audio recordings of gigs. There was every amount of stuff in there, like bootleg singles, and you would always get like the odd video nasty would pop up there, and so that was like it was pretty much the only place, and there was like record magazines. There was always something in the back you could go for that would you could get stuff from, you get like a connection with somebody who would be willing to get your stuff, So, but these days with eBay, it's literally at your fingertips, isn't it?
The thrill of the chase is kind of gone, hasn't it? I mean, it's good.
I mean, there used to be actual fairs for video nasties. Just that's all you could get, or like films you couldn't get from abroad.
Yeah.
It was like proper underground and everything. It was mental.
Mm-hmm. The one in Watford I used to go to used to be 2 a year, and me and my buddy would save up money and we'd get there and you'd go in and there would be hardly any video nasties or anything like anything dodgy for the first half an hour till the police has checked it out, and then when they sort of confident the police have gone, all the tapes started coming out from under the counter. You know what I mean? There'd be all sorts of that, like pirate of new films and stuff, and it definitely, you go in early entry or straight away, and went back an hour later. Yeah, it's quite different.
Hey, if the ban it, what do they expect?
I know, yeah, absolutely. But I used to love these movie mats because I remember when
world really, wasn't it?
I really took me a while to get my first copy of Evil Dead, the Palace sort of band one. And it cost me, I say loads of money, it wasn't loads of money, it was about 40 or 50 quid. I got it through somebody. And then as soon as I started going to these movie mats, there was about 5 stores with them on there. They were common as mud. Because Evil Dead was such a popular title. Tenors.
Yeah. Loads of them.
Tenors, that's all they were. 15 if it was like mint. Because I remember saying to my friend who wanted one, he said, "Oh, well, you can get me an original Palace Evil Dead." And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to the movie mat whenever." And he's like, "Oh yeah, but when you have to search for one," I said, "There'll be one there, mate." So when I went, I could have chose from about 3 or 4 different copies. It was such a common tape because it was a popular tape. But now they're like 100 quid plus, isn't they? And £200 some of them now. But they were common as much, honestly.
It was funny, wasn't it?
Selling.
Which I've known.
I think, isn't it? I wish I'd have bought a few more, but honest. Just even though I got 8 different.
I'd only go for pre-search, but I would definitely have one of them.
Yeah,
it's such a talking point, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially the covers, one of the best covers ever.
In the video nasty movie mat scene, they were one of the most common tapes you could get, along with Evil Speak.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's like I say, it's just because of the amount that was available. I think
Yeah.
There's 3 Evil Dead Holy Grails that I want, and he's got the lot. It's the original X certificate VHS, the original soundtrack on vinyl, and the original UK quad, and he's got the lot.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
Isn't it sickening, boys and girls?
That's it. What I'll do is very quickly we'll talk about the first time I ever saw the Evil Dead, or sort of a bit of a sort of flavour of when we first saw the Evil Dead, and then we'll go next into Mikey. Mike will start digging through his collection.
And while you're saying that, because it's something that's quite relevant to my, my introduction.
Yeah.
So.
I've
got money for years.
So, Nige, what would you say was your first introduction to Evil Dead that you can remember?
I can't remember whether I rented it or got hold of a pirated copy. I remember I was absolutely terrified to watch it because of what I'd heard at school. I thought I'm either going to be sick or I'm going to pass out and all this lot. And I'd seen little clips on one of the TV documentaries, the ban the nasty ones and all this lot that was out at the time. And I think I was watching one before they actually got banned. It showed you clips of films that they wanted banning, and it came on. I was like, Jesus. Anyway, when I finally got to watch it, all I remember is being absolutely blown away. I absolutely loved it, and I've loved it ever since. It was a scary film. There's definitely a canny few jump scares in it, but it wasn't. I think I was at the age where it wasn't that scary where I couldn't sleep. I'll have been about 15 or 16. 15, I think, when I seen it. But yeah, been a fan of it ever since. And for me, it's still the best Evil Dead film.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just so like it was so out there. Because you
What about you, John? Do you remember when you've seen it?
Yeah, it was definitely in '83, and we got it out at the video shop. There was a couple of people got it out, and we went round to either my house or somebody else's house. We watched in a couple of people's houses, and it was one of them.
Same year as me then. Mine was '83.
'83, and it was definitely '83 because I remember it was in the second. It was me. I was in fourth year, not fifth year, because fifth year was my last year, and it was the '83 was my fourth year, and we got it out at school as well, and we played it in a chemistry lesson, so that was great. And the teacher couldn't believe it. I don't even think we got through the whole thing, because the teacher turned it off. But it was a fact what actually got it was unbelievable. And but I know it's at my mate's house and my house a couple of times, and we all were pretty scared of it. Like, I think it was the noise, the look of it, the notoriety coming along with it. When you said the title, everybody knew that we're in for Summit, and we all were scared about it. I mean, it still is a bit when you turn the lights off and you've got the music on and all that. It's still got its moments, I think, which are creepy. It's a creepy. I think it's more from a scary movie to a creepy movie now, but it's a great movie. And but yeah, definitely '83 on video. And then of course when you think, oh well, you get the point where you can actually buy the videos and all that when you get them X rental, it was gone. So that was the end of that. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have got one before they all got seized or taken off or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, so that's for me. So what about you, Mikey? When was the sort of first introduction to Evil Dead?
Well, you can blame Steven Spielberg, really, or specifically E.T., because in '82 I was an absolute mad E.T. fan. You know, as a kid, I was 12 years old.
Right.
I've always liked sci. I know it's Nige's favorite sci-fi films and all, but I especially like films with aliens.
Yeah.
And because of that, I picked this up in the shop. Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst.
Is that an original '80s video magazine?
It's a what? It's
original '80s video magazine.
Yeah, it would have been about '82, something like that.
Oh my god!
So I picked that up because he had E.T. on the cover. And but bearing in mind, I was always a horror fan anyway. You know, my parents used to let me watch, you know, the Hammer horror films or whatever was on a Saturday night. You know, mainly the first one, and then you could go to bed.
The double bill.
Yeah, let me and my sister watch the first one, and then the second one then was like, you gotta go to bed now. But yeah, so me and my sister was always fascinated with horror films. You know, like I say, E.T. came along, and it just completely. Still one of my favorite films, top 10, easy. So I bought this magazine anyhow, and you know, and in this magazine, but it's not a surprise, is it? But what's that?
Yeah.
Well, now that right there, that bottom right picture, there was a T-shirt with that on, and the head was huge, and I regret to this day never getting it.
I got that one, obviously, but not obvious. But yeah, I seen this, and I, you know, that I remember. I mean, it's vague memories. I was 12 years old, but yeah, that made me wanted to see the film.
Yeah.
She's the scariest thing, isn't it? I think Cheryl, his sister.
Yeah. And
yes.
of course, you know, you didn't have sort of access like we got now, so it was just a kind of like film that sort of stuck in my head until one day I seen like mini trailers started showing on the TV. Like 10-second short trailers, because I remember that and Basket Case they kept showing on the TV, like so. And I don't know when I saw Evil Dead. It would have been in 1983 because it was, you know, it was not too long after the, you know, it started showing it on the telly. But yeah, rented it on video from my local video store, which is now a Hairdressers, and yeah, history.
Even though we've got the internet and all that stuff now we have access to, do you both, because I do you both miss those pre-certificate, especially video rental days?
100%.
Yeah.
It was damn way more exciting. way more exciting. I remember when we never even had a video here, because I say here because I live in my parents' house where I grew up. We never had a video, but my uncle got a video machine before us, and he said, "Oh, you know, you want to grab a couple of videos?" Because he knew a guy in the next street to me rented out pirate videos. So he said, "Do you want to grab the videos, like, and bring them up? We'll watch them." So, you know, my dad gave us the whatever money it was, and off me and my sister went, and we come back with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Clash of the Titans. Like, my dad wasn't impressed with having Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you know, so yeah, like, you know,
how's that for a double bill on the cinema?
I actually remember. Well, funny enough, me and my sister was talking about this the other day. We actually remember thinking the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a pile of shit. Sorry. Because we was expecting it to be gory and bloody. When you're a kid, I don't think you see things that you see when you're older. You don't see tension so much or terror. We was expecting a bloodbath, and we're like,
that's all you're looking for, the gore.
Exactly. With a
right.
name like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, why wouldn't you expect it? And yeah, so but it was exciting. It was exciting. Oh, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we're going to be watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and regardless of like I say, they were disappointing. I absolutely adore the film now, by the way. Them exciting times.
I used to love going in the bigger shops where they had like just wall to wall of all these massive old horror films with preset. You think, wow. And they had a certain smell. The smell of them always reminded me of Winkle.
The covers was everything. I honestly think initially that's probably why Evil Dead done so well, because of that artwork that Graham Humphries done on that cover.
I agree.
Because that stood out from everything on the shelf. But the difference between that and most other horror films on the shelves is the film lived up to the cover.
Yes.
And
had they used that American artwork,
right,
I agree. I don't think it would have done as well.
I mean, I would have seen it because of the magazine I wanted to see it. But I mean, yes, I mean that cover. I'm convinced that Graham Humphries had a fair bit of clout in the success of Evil Dead in this country.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of that picture.
I think when you used to go for the covers and you used to see the covers, there was a lot. I agree with you, because you would get the film that had the worst cover. Well, I mean worse, the most bloodthirsty, the most exploitational cover, and you say, get in. You take it to the house and it would be absolute rubbish. Driller Killer, for instance, and you think, what, you kidding me? And the Evil Dead, like you say, is one of the ones that had one of the best covers, and it was one of the best, probably the best. When you got it, and you just, it delivered on all accounts. Even though it was slightly cut, it was still amazing.
Which took me a few years to realise that was cut, the initial, because you just thought it was uncut because it was X and the banned version. And I think it was, it was probably, more towards 90, somewhere around there, when somebody gave me a really bad copy, like the 10th generation, and said, "Oh, it's uncut," and it's like, well, I've already got that. One thing he meant, the X-rated version. No, he said there's actually, some bits, and but only then I realised it was cut, and it's actually well edited as well. That was another thing.
I don't even know what the edited bits are, to be honest. I don't know what's cut out of the original X1.
They spent time editing it properly so it didn't look like it was edited, if that makes sense. There was no sort of all of a sudden change in the sound where it's like, what happened there? So they spent decent care in editing it, like I say, to the point where it just didn't look edited. And
is it all back in now, complete nowadays?
Yes, it's fully uncut now. Yeah.
The only one that looked like sort of out of sorts in that one, I remember watching it, not thinking it was cut, but I thought it was a bit of bad editing, was when Cheryl is singing, is it Cheryl? It's not Cheryl, is it? We're Gonna Get You.
Yeah.
And I know what you're going to say. The slapping.
He slaps her, and then I think he does it once, but it's 3 times in the uncut one.
Yes.
And
I agree.
The music sort of goes wrong a bit, and you thought,
yeah.
So you weren't surprised at that, but the other bits that were like the extra blood in the when you're sticking thumbs in the eyes, that goes on for longer, and you think, I would have never known that.
Yeah, pretty much every gore scene was surprisingly the only scene that wasn't touched was the rape scene. which is probably the one.
Yeah. It would be now. I think they're more about that now, but then it was the gore.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, I think it's cut down to a degree, but the rape scene was fully intact.
Yes,
I think we best get to some comments.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll get some comments up. Like I say,
should have said something.
Apologise to everybody that we don't get to, but it's going to be a busy night in the comments. So, all right, Cheekster.
Hey up.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing? Not so bad. Well, since the computer works now, I feel a lot better. Wordy word. I remember Evil Dead come out on video roughly the same time as Creepshow. What a double bill. I know. There's some great movies.
I remember the first time I saw Creepshow. I remember hiring that out.
Yeah. So it's the cinema, actually. Horror fan Andy, even though we'll probably have to drop by later, but I'm very excited for this one. Yeah, so am I.
Excellent.
Someone called Rock God 2004.
He's gorgeous, him.
Even everyone. And Cheekster says, grew up watching horror movies, including Evil Dead and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, etc., from a very young age. Didn't faze me even back then. I think.
So it didn't turn you into a homicidal maniac then? Like Mary said,
with a copy of the book of Dead Collector's Edition DVD that's inside a rubber-bound edition of the book for the movie. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
One, but it was starting to kind of.
I've still got the bloody. I've still got the Elite Entertainment DVD as well. Forgot about that.
The Elite, yeah.
That's the one I think Mikey bought out.
Yes.
Brian says,
the company.
Sam says, hello, John, Nige, and Mikey. Hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to this epic stream tonight, guys.
All right, Sam, mate.
Danny Dukes, hi to you all. Hope you're all good.
Hey up, Danny.
Gary St. John says, evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Yep. Not bad, Gary. Me.
Evening, sir.
Hi, everyone. Hope you have all washed your ferrets and combed your quiff.
Of course.
So Steve Charlton, hi you all. Hi Steve.
Hey up.
Hello.
Looking forward to this Evil Dead collection. Yeah. And some. Sam says, what's your favourite Evil Dead character? And what are your thoughts on Evil Dead Rise? So my thoughts is Evil Dead Rise was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a worthy entry into the universe, shall I say. And my favourite Evil Dead character has to be Ash. Has to be.
Evil Dead Rise for me. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Not a patch on the original for me. However, I do think it's a lot better than Army of Darkness. My favourite character, I always used to say Ash, but when you think about the effects as well, the one who plays his sister, Cheryl, absolutely think she's fantastic. What she goes through and the way she acts it, she's amazing.
You're right.
Yes.
What would you say, Mikey?
Evil Dead Rise, fantastic. Absolutely everything I wanted it to be. I'd actually put it as my third favourite Evil Dead film. After Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead Rise, Army of Darkness, the remake, and then I'd put the series last, believe it or not. As much as I like the series,
just series is more tongue-in-cheek though, isn't it?
Yeah, and the goal was great, but it's hard to explain, but
it was different.
I didn't like Ash's character. Like
he was too cocky and funny.
Too cocky, yeah, and he wasn't like that in the other ones. Yes, he was cocky, but he was lovable cocky. And in Ash vs. Evil Dead, he come across as quite annoying in times. And going back to that, I love Evil Dead Rise, absolutely fantastic. I've seen it 5 times in the cinema. Of course I was. And favorite character? Well, I got to say Ash. I mean, because it is. But I kind of agree with Nige. Cheryl in the cellar was just so memorable. And still the best makeup for the entire series to date.
That best time when she turns around, she's saying, to a spades, Jack of Diamonds, when she turns around, I was like, oh, that got me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I love Mia in Evil Dead the remake. She's so kick ass, you know. And
Yeah.
what's her name in the new one? I can't remember her name now.
She's really good in the new one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, both of them. I mean, the sister, you know, she was just fantastic as possessed, and when she was possessed, I mean,
Yeah.
And then, you know, the other sister, I can't remember their names. I'm tired. But yeah, I do know them. I just, yeah, I thought they'd done a fantastic job, both of them, and they're both great characters. You know, I actually think Evil Dead Rise has got some of the best characters in any of the series, really, because I think it's one of probably the only one that, in a way, has got a bit of a heart, if you like. I'm not saying it's the best film, but you know, the fact there's a mother trying to protect the children or protect the children from herself. It's quite deep for an Evil Dead movie, really.
Yeah, it is.
And their performances are excellent. All of them, even the kids as well. Our little girl was just sweet, you know, so sweet. But yeah, great film. Absolutely loved it.
So Napoleon 88 says Evil Dead ranking for the sake of it, best to worst, second, first, remake, Army, Rise. Oh. So Rise is last. I wouldn't put Rise as last. I would probably I might put the remake last, but that's not taking anything away from it. I think the remake is, I didn't like it, but Mikey gave me the full cut, and I really enjoyed the full cut, and I thought it was a solid movie. It's a toss-up between Army and Rise. Is actually, sometimes I might prefer one to the other. But I never thought I would say that. I would have had that one at the bottom. The other cut immediately, because I just couldn't stand it. It's amazing what that extra little bit's done with it.
With Army,
what's your favourite?
It's a great movie, but it's not the best Evil Dead movie. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your favourite one?
My favourite? Evil Dead, yeah. It's sometimes Evil Dead 2 creeps in on the top, but it's usually Evil Dead wins. But Evil Dead 2 can sometimes creep up there. Depends how you feel with it, but Evil Dead to me is the one is the true Evil Dead. Is all the Evil Dead should be. If you want to go to Evil Dead, see that one. Yeah.
I think I'd rank mine as 1, 2, remake, Rise, and Army of Darkness last.
What about a TV series? Where do you put that?
Probably just before Army of Darkness. That doesn't mean to say I just like Army of Darkness. Far from it, I don't.
Yeah,
I have an absolutely fantastic time when I watch Army of Darkness. It is so.
There's actually not a bad film or program amongst a lot of them. They're all excellent in their own right.
That's why it's tough, isn't it? Because it makes you think. You know, makes it sound like whatever you put last is a bad film, but it's not.
Yeah. You don't like that? Didn't say I didn't like it. It's just not as good as the others for me.
I even love it, but you know, compared to the other ones, I love it a little bit less. So it's just.
I mean, for me personally, but people are going to be thinking, "What?" I can never understand how people rate the second one as their favourite one. I think the first one is far superior.
Yeah.
Do you think that sometimes, like younger people, when they see the effects, that kind of lets it down for them? They wanted the better effects, which were in Evil Dead 2.
I think it's possible, yeah.
Too much stop motion.
Yeah. I think Tom Sullivan's makeup is the best of the series. It's so, but it's very crude, if you like, and I don't mean in a bad way.
Yeah, it is.
And it looks, it looks amazing, but it also looks. Amateur is not the right word.
Some of it's like very Japanese.
Yeah, it's
just spraying out and stuff like that.
You know, you look at the face in the cellar from Cheryl. I mean, it's probably just paper mache stuck to her face, and these eyes.
It's still one of the scariest things I've seen on film, though.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So yeah, but I think young kids watching it today might not see it the same way as we do.
Absolutely not. I think you had to see it at the time. Look at that.
People, when I
did that not scare you?
I know. It's great.
I really wish I'd got that T-shirt when I had the chance.
I know. No, it's amazing. So Tom says, even everyone, really looking forward to this. Hope everyone's doing well.
Tom?
Yep.
Harry says, first Evil Dead is definitely the best. Yeah. I think we're thinking that.
Well said, sir.
Yeah, Sam's remake is Evil Dead is from best to least would be top Evil Dead. Evil Dead 3. No, hang on.
No.
Evil Dead 2 top, Evil Dead 3, Evil Dead remake, Evil Dead Rise. Oh, hang on. I'm reading that wrong. I know I am.
Evil Dead 2,
the
then the original Evil Dead, then the remake, then Evil Dead Rise, and Army of Darkness last.
Yeah. Should put my glasses on, shouldn't I?
I think the only thing he's differed with me there is 1 and 2, the other way around.
Yeah. Nick Bensley, hi all. I hope everyone's groovy.
Look at that picture. He's ready.
Groovy.
Definitely ready.
Napoleon says, strong set of films, I feel Rises is the worst, and it's still damn good. Yeah. That's what we're saying, basically. Even if you don't like it, as much as the other ones, you still like them.
You still like it, yeah. That's what I mean. It's not a bad one.
I was talking to my missus about this the other day, and I it's like with the remake, and I'm not trying to say that people are wrong by a long shot, but instead of people just trashing Evil Dead Rise, I want to know why. Because as horror fans, what does it do wrong?
For me, nothing.
Exactly. I mean, we got gore, we got fast pace, we got creepy setting, we've got
excellent acting.
I think half of it is just people, because Bruce Campbell's not in it, or he's got the voice cameo, hasn't he? But I swear to God, some people just set themselves out to hate it even before they've seen a frame of it. I swear it must be.
I absolutely agree. I do.
I said, I'm not telling them that they should like it, but I want someone to explain to me
what's the reason.
I've read some really, really people really dissing it. Like, explain to me why it's such a bad horror film. And something like Smile is so brilliant. Like, I like Smile. Don't get me wrong, but what's the difference?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
I liked Smile. Didn't love it. I liked it, but
It's probably because
can somebody go and buy Evil Dead Rise on 4K with a slip, and I will swap them gladly for Smile. I've only watched it once, and it's got the HMV exclusive slip. Give me the Evil Dead for it, please, somebody.
Yeah.
So Woody Word says apparently the attempted prosecution of Evil Dead was bordering on farcical and more or less got laughed out of court.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably know about that, Mikey.
Well, I know Sam Raimi came all the way from the States, didn't he, in Liverpool to appear in court, and he never got called to the stand, so he basically just sat there, watched the film get cleared, if you like, and then flew back.
I don't think he probably needed to, because the guy from Palace absolutely taught him a new one.
Yeah.
I think he went in there and they all thought he was going to be this little tired idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about, and he just he went for it, and the judge was like, "Yeah, fair point, done."
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's
So you've got Palace to thank for that, for him getting up and holding his own there.
Yeah. It's almost as like the people like the Mary Whitehouses and them sort of people like batting horror films, almost like was jealous by his success, and just pee on their fire.
But how could an old bag like that rant and rave to ban stuff when she never even watched them? She openly admitted.
I know.
And why didn't she watch them, John? She's got too much up there.
Yes,
she's got too much up there. Yeah. So, so hello to Brian, and so Sally Robson says, I'm in the minority with Evil Dead Rise. The first time I watched it, I wasn't a fan of it, but the second time I watched it, I hated it. I found it so predictable and lackluster.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've only seen it the once, but I'm dying to see it twice the second time around,
I will say one thing about it. I did not jump once.
Right. Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't creeped out by it at all. I thought it was great to see something as gory as that in the cinema. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But I didn't get any kind of whoa moments like you would in I saw Evil Dead 2 at the cinema, and that freaked us a little bit. There's a few scenes in it where I was a bit like, wow, but
Yeah.
This one didn't do that, but the best part, well, it wasn't like a bit of the hairs on the back of your neck. You know, the credits, when the credits come up.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like it.
The opening credits, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that blew me away, I tell you. I was buzzing at that moment.
Do you know, you get a lot of people, there's not a lot of people appreciate the credits. Like,
yeah.
I always say, watch a film, and when I'm impressed by credits and somebody turns away like that, I go, you've missed it. They go, well, I know what it's called. It's not the point.
I saw it.
Credits, that's one of the best credits I've seen.
Yeah, I saw the preview in London, as you probably know. I probably told you.
Yeah.
This is not.
I can't remember it now, but I do remember thinking, wow, look at that. But can I remember it? I need to watch it again.
Yeah. But one thing is, it's not really to do with Evil Dead, but it happened during Evil Dead, I guess. But it was in the cinema, and we could only get tickets right near the back and to the one side. It was close to the exit, you know, because it was sold out really quickly. Because where we saw it in the Prince Charles Cinema, which was where the original Evil Dead was first shown in the UK, you know, members get tickets first, and then, you know, mere mortals sort of get what's left. So when I got the tickets, there was not many left. So I'm sat, you know, me and my missus were sat in the cinema, my mate to my right hand side, and like I say, it's not really Evil Dead related, really, but sat behind us, and we never saw him, was I don't remember his name, the guy from Stranger Things, Wolfhard, is it?
He was in the cinema with you,
sat behind us,
and you didn't even know.
Didn't know. And the only reason I do know is because of one of my other friends who couldn't get a seat next to us. He didn't sit directly behind us. He sat one seat further back. So when we were going out, he said, "Oh, Finn Wolfhard, that's it, isn't it?" I said, "Did you see Finn sat behind you?" So what are you on about? Finn Wolfhard, out of Stranger Things, he was sat right behind you. I'm like, no. Mad, isn't it?
I'm surprised he didn't blind you with his conch.
And someone started posting pictures on, you know, I haven't got Instagram, but, you know, posting pictures of Finn stood outside the cinema, so it was him. You know, mad.
Yeah, missed sport opportunity there, mate.
The little size. Well, I didn't even see him, but the thing is, because I was turning around before the film started and talking to my mate Liam, I must have been literally looking through him. Do you know what I mean? But you're focusing on Liam.
You wouldn't expect to see him there, though, would you?
No, he's probably in my way. It's probably like, you know, I had to do that to sort of speak to my mate, like, you know, and that's so frustrating, because I would have said hi and probably got a selfie with him or something. You know, how unique is that to be sat in a cinema next to a, you know, he was in the last Ghostbusters film, wasn't he? And
it
as well.
He was.
So, anyway,
right. Actually, that last Ghostbusters film was a quite decent movie.
Yeah. But, you know, it's quite mad.
Even lads, hope you are well, having a good stream tonight.
Yep.
And Red Room Antics as well, evening all.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Carl M79. Good evening, lads. Evil Dead, one of the first Nasties I saw. Happy to see you completed section 1, John. Yeah, I did the other day. And I saved the best to last. I don't mean I saved the best to last. I saved the most expensive to the last. I've been putting them off for such a long time. And then, you know, when you just think, I'm going to have to bite the bullet, and I just don't. My God.
You just made me sick. You beat me to it. That's the one I've been looking for so long. And I still haven't got the bloody thing.
I looked all over the place for Werewolf and the Yeti. And there was a few ones that were quite cheap, but I hadn't got a clue what they were. It could have been anything. It could have been something that was just taped off the VHS, or it could have been anything. It could have been any. There was nothing on the net about these particular releases, so I had to go for the big one, the Scream Factory box set. And just,
I've ummed and ahed myself about that, and I'm thinking I didn't really want the box set for one film. And then I looked at the German media book, and I like, artwork looks brilliant, but I thought, I wrote the title in German. If it had been in English, I probably went, yeah, I'm having that.
It could be cut though. You never know if it's cut or not. That's the problem. I know that
usually Germany though, they always stipulate, don't they? Uncut everything.
I guess yeah, I've seen a few like that.
I think I'll wait a bit longer, see if anybody over here grabs it, like 88 or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the Scream Factory one looks absolutely amazing. It's got a brilliant print. all the movies have on that box set. It's 5 of them. So really,
the thing is, if you say you like the other films in that box set, I might just bite the bullet and get the same thing.
Well, I haven't seen them all, but I've seen bits and pieces of them, and every one I've seen of Paul Nash's movies, even though they're not probably all the ones that are in there. I like all his movies. They've got that kind of Night of the Bloody Apes feel about them. They're a bit hokey, but they're all right. They're good. They're a good laugh. He was quite good actually. He was really passionate about being the Wolfman. Probably played him more times than anybody else. But it's if you think about it, it's 5 movies. I'm paying £10 each, so it's not that bad. That's real.
It's not bad when you look at it like that.
Yeah, it's still £50 though.
He's such a tight get, isn't he?
Well, I know, but if it was the one movie was £15 or £20, I wouldn't be bothered about that. But I don't know. It is what it is. You're going to pay through the. What I'm going to try and do, if I can, I don't think I can do it. I'm going to try and tot up a kind of ballpark figure of what I've actually paid for all of the section 1s and give a kind of on the video and say it's round about this.
I don't think I can even remember now, to tell you the truth.
I think I've got some of the receipts in the box of the ones I've got, and I've got
my eye on another DVD one for us both.
Just going to tuck my fan on a minute because I'm boiling in here, but I'll keep it away from me because I don't want the sound to obviously affect the stream. But let me know when I come back if you can hear the fan, and I'll move it.
Well, mine's on, so
it's just so bloody hot in here.
I don't think you'll be able to hear it.
That'll be 2 seconds.
I don't think you've got it, but when I order it, I'm getting it as 1 each.
Oh.
It's one of them, though. You can only get it on DVD again. It's one of them. It's a section 2 or 3. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you don't have it.
There's, if you think about it, there's loads of them, especially in section 3, which you think, would they ever come out? Ever? And I'm thinking that probably they won't.
There's also someone like, what's that one beginning with I? The long way. In the Blu-ray company.
Innovision? No.
Yeah. I think the ones released Scum.
Indicator?
Indicator and Power. Yeah, they've got a few. There's one called, I think it's Holy Terror or Bloody Terror. And then there's one called Prey. And another one I was like, I wonder what they are. When I was reading about them, was on a section 2 or 3. I was like, oh, I'll have to get them.
Oh, yes, I think I know what you mean. Can't remember the title.
I think they were originally released in a box set, and that's long gone, I think. Or it's expensive. But you can get them all individual, the ones that they've got.
I'm sure there's one that's definitely an indicator one, which is section 3, but I can't remember what it was. So Tom says, I wasn't keen on Evil Dead Rise just because they threw a Necronomicon in a chainsaw. They even call this an Evil Dead movie. Even copying the tree scene with the lift didn't do it for me. Yeah. And I think, though, if in my thing, if I was watching this, it seemed like a bit of a more like not a remake, like a reboot.
Reimagining.
In a fashion. And it's, if they didn't have a Necronomicon on in a chainsaw, it might have lost total connection with the Evil Dead.
Oh, sorry, I missed the question.
I don't know. I still think it's the whole Ash thing. If Bruce Campbell had been in it, then people would have probably accepted it more. Keep that same storyline that it's got now, but think of a character that Bruce Campbell could have played. Yeah. Well, played Ash, but in that film, I think it would have been a lot more accepted.
Lee Cronin have dropped hints that because Bruce Campbell's got a cameo voice. Did you both notice that? When she's playing the record,
I read about it afterwards. Yeah.
Yes, he says something like, I can't remember the word now, but it's obvious Bruce Campbell. Lee Cronin has suggested that it's not just a cameo by Bruce Campbell; it could be Ash. Seeing that voice.
Yeah, because he was listening to the tape recorder in the original, so yeah, he could have recorded his own.
So Ash could be in it. But I know people want more than that. But
they want to see him.
Yeah. But yeah.
So right, I'll get a couple more questions, and we'll get into some stuff from your collection, then, Mikey.
Okay. Yeah.
Brian says, Where do you get your Terrifier T-shirt from? It looks good.
Oh, Hell on Shirts.
Hell on Shirts.
And they are a UK company.
That's cool.
And they've got some amazing Return of the Living Dead ones as well.
Yeah.
So Trev says, "What up, lads? Going to watch this on catch up. Looking forward to seeing this though. It's cool that all the Evil Dead films on 4K now. Got them in my collection. Up the irons."
All right, Trev.
Right. So let's get back to Mikey. So Mikey, the thing I would like to see, and if you can, I don't know if you can get to it from here, would be the tape recorder behind you. What's the story behind your tape recorder?
I might be able to bring that down. It's not the actual one for the film, but it's the model, and the maker model.
If you put that next to any horror movie fan came in and saw that, they'll go immediately, "That's that from Evil Dead."
They've got, what's that?
What's that? Real fellow.
Do you actually know whatever happened to the original one, Mikey?
It's I suspect that Bruce Campbell's got it because it was his father's.
Oh.
So I suspect he kept that, but I don't know.
You have to message him and ask him if he'll give you a Brucey bonus. Get that shipped over here.
Yeah. It's
Probably a bit of Holy Grail, that one, in the original.
It's basically, it's the same make and model.
I tell you what, it's authentic, man, isn't it?
Huh?
It's very authentic looking.
But what's so good about this particular one, and it's the hardest thing to find, is the correct reels. I don't mean what's on the reels.
I was going to say, isn't that the same? One bigger than the other?
Yep. Yep. And if you notice in the film, the one's got a holder for the reel on the right hand side, and the other one hasn't. And when I bought this off somebody, he said it's really difficult to find the correct reels. These, they pop up on eBay quite a lot. These are very difficult to find. So,
wow.
Can you play what's on the tape, Mikey?
It doesn't actually work. I've never tried it, but when I bought it off the guy, he said it turns, but there's something wrong with the speakers. So I've never even tried it, to be honest. It's more of a display piece, isn't it? So if I knew someone that wouldn't mind having a fiddle around with the fact that it moves, apparently, I would like to get it fixed if it wasn't too much of a problem and actually get the incarnation recorded onto there. So
I was just going to say, would it be nice if you got it fixed and you could get that audio on there?
Yeah. So
I don't know if I would want to hear it.
I know.
Yeah. Imagine putting that on. I'd be freaked out. Say, turn it off.
Really? But yeah, that was. I think I paid.
Do you want to play that for you? No, I don't. Thanks.
So yeah, that's a nice thing. I was after one of these for a long time, and when he said it doesn't, no sound, I was like, okay, I can live with that because, as I said, it's more of a display piece. I think it looks fantastic on the shelf.
Oh, it does.
Definitely looks the part.
Yeah.
It's really heavy. It's yeah.
But all US the day with
So yeah, there you go. That one. Oh.
Brilliant.
Sorry to have you dancing around here, but my request is...
This is probably the best way to do it because I initially was going to, bring a pile of stuff down by the side of me and I was thinking, well, what should I put there? And I'm thinking, well, depending on how the conversation goes, So
I would like to see your original UK quad and that amazing painting with you in it that the guy did. The Graham Humphreys did. I'd like to see both of them.
Right. Do you want to see them now? Because I'll have to take the things because they're on the wall. Okay. Let me just set the thing first.
I'll put up a few
All right,
comments.
Pete,
when,
mate.
Oh, hi, Pete. Yeah, this is a weird thing. Yeah, there we go. Let me make sure I set it up correctly. I'll try and be quicker with this in future. So, settings. Back. Right. How's that?
Oh, that's a splendid glass of Coke.
Then, so I might as well. Should I show you a couple of bits around it while I'm at it, or just show you them?
Yeah.
Right, here's the. Got loads of shit on the floor here because I had to move it. It was a lot of stuff was in front of my Eagle bed.
I think you're covering your microphone up.
Oh yes, I probably.
There
am.
you go.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the Graham Humphreys painting.
So that's you in the cellar.
It is. With my
Look
name
at that.
Imagine that, man.
And as I've said before, that's an actual painting. That's not a print.
God damn! Look at
So that's a one of a kind, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's one of a kind, yeah. He did. Yeah. He said he'd never done it before. He actually used the top part, just that, as I'm showing you there, on his website for a while.
Yeah.
Cut my ugly mug off, probably because he was too horrific. But yeah, he used that on the top of his website. So yeah. So that's that one.
Brilliant.
That is beautiful. That. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. If it looks like I'm looking at the floor, I'm trying not to trip over stuff because I had to move a lot of stuff to put my chair and all where it is.
Oh my God, it's signed as well.
That's Ellen Sandweiss there.
That's Cheryl. Oh man.
That is. It's not the best lighting here, is it? Sarah York.
Sarah York.
Yeah. Oops, bear with me. Bruce Campbell.
My God.
Tom Sullivan. I don't know if he's done in black, but
yeah, is that the other guy in it?
The effects guy. That is.
My God.
That is Bruce Campbell's brother, Don Campbell. Worked on the film. I didn't just have it because it's Bruce Campbell's brother.
Wow. And
I was only the second person to have his autograph. So no one's asked. Well, one person has asked me before. That's Betsy Baker there. Betsy Baker. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it.
That's where you're going to get you, isn't it?
Sweet Screams, it says. It's because it's in black. It says Sweet Screams. Yeah, that's the one. The one.
But that's there though, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash's girlfriend.
That ghost up here. Where is it now? I can't see it through this lens. It's there. Is he ghost? Way too. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let me get my phone a minute so I can shine a light on it, and maybe you can see it better. Maybe I should have done this before. I don't want to get too
after seeing the picture of you on, then he does all the lettering as well.
What's that?
Graham Humphreys, when he does the painting, he actually does the lettering as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So
look at that.
Makes it better.
It's gorgeous, that poster.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh,
the code out.
He's turned himself off. He was just getting juicy there.
I wonder if can you imagine owning that quad? Just the quad.
I would be happy for one, even if it wasn't signed, because just that artwork is outstanding.
Oh yeah. Can you get?
He's done so many films, though, like also that you don't realise.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of them. When you know someone says, "Oh, it's one of his," you know it instantly, don't you?
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, of course it is," but sometimes you don't make that connection until somebody says.
Yeah, I was going to say that sometimes I look at it, I haven't realised, and then when you look, you think, "How did I miss it?" Because he's got a style all of his own.
No, you're right. There he is at the bottom there. I think he's just probably pulled the plug out. There he is.
Yeah, I know. I just switch it back on. Mrs. just come down.
Right.
She's watching it upstairs. You and you've just turned yourself off. Thanks. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. If it happens again, I'll come straight back on. You know,
Right.
it's awkward to hold this thing. I don't know if you can see a ghost there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Like a scribble of a ghost.
Yeah.
Sort
I
of.
don't know which bit I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's like you can see the outline of the ghost.
Eyes there. It's like scary
Sort of.
wings there, if you like. Anyway, that was done by Sam Raimi.
Can you see it's like a marker pen? It's like like a sort of kiddie's ghost thing that you were getting there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So he did that.
Sam Raimi did that, yeah.
Just to make it back on it.
Last and least, it's a bit of a funny story with this. Up in the corner next to the ghost.
Yeah.
I took this poster to the Spider-Man 2 premiere because I wanted to try and meet Sam. That's how I did. But what I done, I clipped it. I seen what other people were doing. I clipped it on. Hang on, let me change the image back. Come on, this is a bit of a rubbish laptop thing, but it works, I guess. Right, front. Is that right now? Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the clips in on. I don't know if you've seen at the premieres. I know you've been to one, John, haven't you, or some?
Yeah.
And all the way down the barriers, they'll have like big, the quad-size cardboard things connected to the barriers for whatever film it is. So I got some pegs. I pegged my Evil Dead post on there, so I could hopefully attract Sam over to sign it, which he did. But unfortunately, Kirsten Dunst signed it as well. She obviously wasn't looking.
So that's Kirsten Dunst's signature on the top of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what the hell? It's got to be a one-off, hasn't it?
It is.
Because she was obviously in Spider-Man 2. Or 1, 2, 3, wasn't she? And I noticed because I looked down.
There, isn't it?
Because she was there and she looked, and I looked down and I could see her writing on it. And I'm thinking, oh, Jesus Christ. But I thought,
I'm slapped her. I'm not you.
Don't tell her to stop, because you're better off having a full signature than half a signature, even if it is Kirsten Dunst. And I suppose it tells a story, but yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? How did she not know this? She wasn't even born when I come out.
At least it's somebody famous, looking at it that way. And I suppose she's connected to it because Sam Raimi, so it's not too bad.
I thought this was pretty
movie sometime down the road.
I think I'd have been more annoyed if Ken Dodd autographed it.
Yeah. Oh, should have I done now? Come back to me now. Okay. Sorry, I'm coming back.
So Steve Charlton says, I had the Evil Dead Palace big box white VHS. I want my ass kicking for selling it, especially at the price I sold it for. So, Mikey, you've obviously got this one.
Well, this could have got a bit
smoother. You know, when somebody talks about, I had this one, it's obvious that Mikey will have that one to sort of pull out and say, yeah, I've got it. That's what it looks like. Rather than just somebody talking about it, you know, like...
white VHS, I'm assuming that means the white label on the tape. If it means the white, because most of the Evil Deads were yellow, weren't they?
Yeah, I think mine was the yellow, the one I got. Was
like the yellow sticker on the actual tape.
Aye.
I think Mikey's got a white and a red, if I remember rightly from last time.
Every colour you can get, he's got. I know. He was telling us.
I think the yellow. I'm sure he said the yellow one's the most common.
Yeah,
but the red and the white, I think they're the ones that are hard to get.
The tough ones, yeah. We'll come back to that one. See, we have got a white box for that one. So Lux Films Unboxing says, I think Evil Dead movie, The Army of Darkness, took a different direction to the Evil Dead franchise. I think also explains a lot where it went off a new show as first Evil Dead, It kind of ties in with that more, doesn't it? You all right there?
Yeah, it's what it is. It's an old tablet, and it's touchscreen. So every time I'm touching, trying not to touch things, it's just So just like I said, if I disappear, just give me a minute. I'll be back. Try my best.
So have you got a white VHS of Palace box of Evil Dead?
Me?
Mikey?
Yeah. Does he mean the white sticker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that one.
You've got a red as well, haven't you?
And a yellow. Now, obviously, there's the cover and the white label. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Which is the hardest to get?
I don't know, but I've heard different people say different things. I found the red one the hardest to find, personally. It was the last one I got. But I don't know if that's just the way it worked out for me. But, yeah.
They look brand new, don't they, as well?
You are?
The condition look brand new.
Do you know what? I've probably had 10 more copies than what I've got here. I kept replacing them with better ones and giving the other ones away. I don't have any left, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
I started my very first copy of Evil Dead was a tacky thing, like I say over time I'd be like, oh, I see now one that looks really nice, and I'd replace it, and I'd give the other one away. So yeah, all my ones I got now are pretty awesome condition, like. Well,
wow,
pretty cool. So yes,
I nice to have more than one. So Frags Gaming says, good evening, fellas. Looking forward to this one. Thanks, Frags.
All right, Frags.
And Sinjin says 7 copies, one for every day of the week. Nice one, mate.
Is it 7? 6, 7?
No, I think that's referring to Evil Dead Rise, the one you pre-ordered.
What's that?
He's on about the Evil Dead Rise, the one you pre-ordered.
Yes, that's correct.
You've got to think we're about an hour behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, we are. But I think that's 652. That one's from there. So Nick Bensley says, I have the Elite Special Collector's Edition on LaserDisc with gold discs. Lovely edition. Do you have LaserDiscs yourself, Mikey?
Nice.
I don't think we've ever looked at your LaserDiscs.
I have. I've got it, yeah. I see it though.
Have you?
Well, what he said there, the gold disc, yeah.
My God.
So what does the LaserDisc looks like? I don't think I've ever seen a LaserDisc of Evil Dead.
Is it the same artwork as their DVD?
It's the same as it's the US artwork because it's a US disc.
Not the Elite one.
It's the Elite one, isn't it? Wait, 2 seconds. Here somewhere.
I'll wait and see that answer my own question. What I meant was, is the Elite LaserDisc the same artwork as the Elite DVD?
Oh, I see. See what you mean. I think it is. I think. Might as well grab all my LaserDisc while I'm here.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry here. Some LaserDiscs in my grills.
I never even thought of this movie being on LaserDisc, if I'm honest.
Do you know, neither did I?
No.
Okay. I believe this is all the LaserDiscs I have. The one talking about?
Oh, look at that. It's the same artwork on the DVD.
It's got one of the discs is silver. I don't know why they've done that, but 2 of them are gold.
3 discs.
Wow. 3 discs, yeah. It's an extra features, I think. I think the film is spread over 3 sides, for quality, like.
Yeah.
And, just like a thing with the chapters and stuff on it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's a pretty neat one, isn't it?
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'll stick that by there in a minute. And what else I've got is I'll look for Evil Dead 1 first. I have the regular Elite one.
I didn't even know that one existed either.
That was the regular one, as opposed to the box set, which was much more expensive.
Lovely that.
I have 2 seconds. This one, which was the first LaserDisc I picked up of it, which is a Japanese one.
I bet that's hard to get out of now.
From Asia,
It's quite a lot, to be
before
fair,
us.
but, it was quite expensive when I bought it. Like, it was about £60, you know, and it was quite a few years ago. But yeah. And I got to show you this because not a lot of people know these things exist, because I didn't until, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. It's a Japanese format called VHD. What it is basically a giant floppy disk with Evil Dead on it.
It's like the old
seen them
CD
before.
disc. You insert that and it spits the colour back out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's played by a stylus.
Okay, yes, I think it is, yeah. So, that was pretty mad.
Yes,
Pretty
I've seen that on an old gadgets thing once. Didn't know they'd have it for Evil Dead, mind.
You can get Jaws 3 in 3D and Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D on them. It's supposed to look terrible, like, but they're very collectible.
Oh. I have that LaserDisc as well, which is another Japanese edition, but this one is the what was the other one? Let me see.
How the hell have you tracked all of these down?
This is it. Yeah, this is the what they call the Herald Videogram Edition, and it's considered by some people to be the only version of Evil Dead in existence that shows the true colors of the movie when it was first shown. Like, it was, if you look at the pictures on the back, it's like where Linda scene is almost blue.
Yeah.
It's more icy cold, if you like.
Yeah.
The film gives it a more colder feel because of the coloring, and apparently that's how it was first shown. And this is the only version that does it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a good one. It's got burnt in Japanese subtitles, like, but.
Have you watched these LaserDiscs, Nige? Sorry, Mikey, have you watched them on a LaserDisc? Have you got a LaserDisc here?
I've still got 2 LaserDisc players. I don't know if they both work, mind, but still got 2 players.
Look at that.
That's Evil Dead 2 with a signed by Ted Raimi, I think.
Good God.
We've got Ted Raimi to sign that. And it's also blood red.
Oh, wow.
I have never seen a coloured LaserDisc before. Never.
Oh,
Oh my God.
I wouldn't have thought they would have worked.
That is absolutely bizarre.
There wasn't many, but it's another Japanese edition of Evil Dead 2. And just Japanese edition.
I suppose PS1 games were black, weren't they? So I suppose it's just the laser.
Yeah. Another Japanese edition with a picture of the scene that never made it into the film on it. Character got his head chopped in half. He's in the film, but...
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
Wow.
You only see a silhouette of Sammy, but you only see a silhouette of Ash's axe going through his head. You don't see the actual chop, but it was filmed. It just was not used.
You just thought to put it as a deleted scene or something by now.
Yeah, I've got a disc on it where it's got sort of behind the scenes. It's footage of it, but it's not edited in, or it's no proper sound, and so it's there, but it's rough. Like, it's a US release of Evil Dead 2, the first LaserDisc release, or laser video disc. So, then
they're both in great condition, mate.
Yeah, that was the first Universal release of Army of Darkness, which was a cinema cut, US. Yeah. Then this is a French one. LaserDisc.
Wow. Les Armies de Tenebrae.
This one, my personal favorite. It's a Japanese one that was titled Captain Supermarket. You see it at the top?
Titled what?
Captain Supermarket.
Supermarket.
Captain Supermarket. What the?
That's the crazy Japs for you. And that's signed by Bruce Campbell.
I'm going to the cinema to see Captain Supermarket.
Well, I can see where they get it from. But it wouldn't be the title I would have picked.
No, it's a bit bonkers. Japanese are a bit bonkers, aren't they, I guess. Mean that in a good way, of course. Yeah, that's the soundtrack.
So you know when you got Bruce Campbell to sign that, did he comment on the title of that? Did he say anything about the title?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I got that signed the very first time I met him, which was back in 1999. I can't remember. So I got the photo, yeah, when I first met him. So my very first time I met Bruce Campbell. 1999.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He seems like a right laugh, Bruce Campbell, like, I've got to say.
Yeah, he does.
His game and stuff.
Yeah. So there you go.
Have you got your soundtrack to hand, the vinyl?
Yeah, we can get that now, yeah.
Well, I need to see this.
So
this is another one of my grills.
I'll just show you that when I'm at this, when I met Ted Raimi the same day.
God. He's funny, Ted Raimi.
Ted Raimi seems such a nice fella.
He
does, actually.
I've got him in a horror film called Skinner.
Have you played any video games of Evil Dead?
Yeah.
My son has.
Yeah, I got that.
And, I've watched him play it. The new one, anyway. It's quite good.
I've never played any of them.
I played the Commodore 64 one, which was brilliant. I used to love that one. I mean, it was really bad. The Commodore 64 Evil Dead.
Have you played any of the video games?
The game
had a great cover.
Yeah. So this is my soundtracks on vinyl. Might as well go through them, should I? Or
yeah.
We have.
Oh, look at that.
It's the original one, as you know.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Brilliant.
And then I've got.
You never really think of these coming out on vinyl. I never really looked at them. You know, movie things back in the day. You just.
I knew it existed. I stupidly never got it.
I know.
Yeah. Never get it.
Obviously, after when you got Nige, isn't it?
Is that? Did you get the same colour? Because they give it a repress as well, didn't they?
No, I think I got the. I got the first release, but I'm pretty sure I got the. Not, you know, I didn't have a membership or anything, so I would have got the.
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's the same as mine.
It's the same, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's yeah, and it come with a little code to like get a digital copy.
That's your download code, yeah. I've used mine. Yeah. And I've just spotted that the booklet of mine fell on the bloody floor.
So you just took it. I want to sort of put it back in its sleeve because I damage it, you know. You know what it's like. Then I believe we're on to Evil Dead 2. That's the original UK Evil Dead 2.
I love the artwork. That record label, That's Entertainment, looks so cheap.
Who is it? Right.
That's Entertainment. I had Elm Street 3 on that label. It looked terrible.
Yeah. What's that one?
But that artwork's amazing. That's the Graham Humphreys artwork, isn't it, on the front?
Yes.
That's the US final.
There's the US one, yeah.
And I've got it signed by. I didn't meet him, but my friend did. Got it signed by Joe LaDuca, the composer.
Oh.
Done all 3 movies. Danny Elfman done a couple of tracks, didn't he, on Army of Darkness, but it was mostly Joe LaDuca, or you know. So I was gave me this, like, so that's nice. On to Army. No, Evil Dead 2. Not Evil Dead 2. That one there, which you've probably seen. You got? Did you say you had that one, Nige?
Yeah.
So that's that one.
That's a nice one.
It is lovely, yeah. And I have 2 Army of Darkness.
I used to have all 3 colours, but I sold 2 of them.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Opens sort of that way, which is strange. Like
That must be like an original at the time the film came out. Then was it?
No, this is actually more recent than the other one. I'm sure it is.
I've never seen it with that original artwork. I've only ever seen the Mondo one.
Yeah, and the Mondo one, obviously.
That's it.
Yeah.
Didn't even know the other one existed.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it came in after it, that one, to be honest with you. Seemed a bit odd to bring it out again when it won so long. Same as you got the remake.
Yeah.
I got the vinyl on it for Rise, but it hasn't come yet. I think it's 9 to August or something. That's that one. And these obscure ones, if you like. The Evil Dead album by I think they're a punk band called Skullhog.
Never heard them.
That artwork is amazing, man.
Probably bootleg stuff.
I've still got this one to give you. I remember. Evil Dead 4. It will be coming your way.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. No rush. And this one, I only had this one through a couple of days. It's by a guy called Ben Living. I've never heard of him before. Apparently, he does mixes. The mix this album, Book of the Dead. Is it called Book of the Dead? Yeah. It's all Evil Dead, chapters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got that on the front. And also, it is picture disc.
Ooh,
that's nice.
On the back.
Looks like glass.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think as far as I'm aware, he sort of self-produces them, like manufactures them as well, So
I was going to say it looks like what they call a lathe cut.
Right.
So they can do either very limited or just one-offs. They're done individually. They're not like pressed. That actually, there's a machine sort of like grinds the groove on it, I think.
Yeah. I've got it on CD as well, just to listen to it. But that was
still play like any other record. They still play all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my one more which I forgot about vinyl, which is part of the recent video game special edition, which is beautiful.
Oh my God! Nice. Look at that!
And I'll show you what's inside. A vinyl to the soundtrack of the game.
Wow!
I think it's coloured. I think.
Good game, that.
Yeah, it's sort of red with a
red,
bit, So it's
didn't even know that existed.
Well, this box set came out I think it was over a year ago when the game was released, and you could only get it from the States. You can only get it directly from the publishers, wherever they are. But they also said, if you live in the UK, we'll send you a PAL version of the game or whatever. So they specifically put your region version of the game in the box set and all. But then when it turned up, it had a thing in it saying, unfortunately, we're having trouble with the pressings of the vinyl. So, you'll get them as soon as we finish. To be fair, they did send it, but it took about 10 months to come.
Wow.
So send us occasional emails saying, we haven't forgot you.
Don't worry, we haven't forgot.
Yeah, sort of thing,
well, at least it's complete now.
Put a copy of the game there, PS5, or whatever version you wanted, they would put it in there.
Wow.
Some art cards. I'm just afraid I'm going to drop this and put it there in a minute. Just some art cards. I put this here, this table-y thing here, especially so I knew where to put it. I'm still messing it up. Anyway, just 4 or 5 art cards, whatever. And then you got Steelbook to put the game in. You want?
The started Steelbooks and games.
That came with no game in it, but the game is in there. So if you want to,
right?
I just left it all sealed, and but
Wow,
that's nice.
Cool as well.
No, that's a set and a half, that isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got
The outer box is gorgeous. The artwork on it.
I talk about the artwork of the game, sort of thing, which is, you know, all about the design and stuff.
That's outstanding. That's
lovely hard book as well, like proper book, not like floppy thing. Lots of pages. Your apology letter saying where your vinyl's going to be late.
It's even got the Evil Dead logo on the top of the letter.
Oh yeah. And it's big poster, which is absolutely fantastic artwork.
Wow, the size of that.
Whoa!
You see, I can't see, so yeah.
That is nice.
And on the back, it's got the map. It's got the map of the game as well, so you can use it as a map to play the game.
Yeah.
And just the last thing, which is in place of the vinyl for now, sort of thing, and that is. Oh my God, I hate folding these posters up. What's going on here now? I'll get there. Right.
When you get something out of a box, you can never get it back in.
I know.
Posters are the worst thing for it.
Wow.
And this was basically, you know, saying that's your CD, that's your vinyl thing, and on the back it had a code to download a digital version until you know, you can use.
Oh, that was good of them then.
Yeah, that was decent enough, so you could still, you know, play the soundtrack, and that was about £150 that set, I think, something like that.
150.
Something like that, yeah. Or 120, and
Not bad for what you get in, I suppose.
I was just going to say, for what you get, I thought it was going to be more.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more than that.
Especially with a hardback book in it as well.
Yeah, sold out really quickly, as you can imagine. And like I said, it's so cool, you know, especially in this day and age when everything seems to be, you know, Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2, that they went with that original art, you know, that Cheryl on the front.
Yeah,
I know.
Just
I love that. I love that box.
And I forgot to start in. Okay.
What an addition that is.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I know.
Okay, so
it's amazing.
I got all that. I'd like to show you the vinyl, but I thought while it's open, might as well show you the rest of it. Okay, so where are we now?
So actually, this is a good one from Gary. Listen to how much Evil Dead collectibles you own.
I've got a reprint
one of the original scripts.
Not an actual used script, but I've got a printing of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that would have been the script I had. It's just like redone, like sort of, what's it called? Like a photocopy, for want of a better word. It'd be amazing if that existed, you know, the original script somewhere. I'd love it. It would be great to have a museum for the Evil Dead, go through and see all of the stuff that's kind of the original stuff like this.
If somebody opened a museum, they'd be on to him and they'd be offering him an absolute mint.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And even though all these are like the reprints, they're not like off the set, you know. But there's that's Evil Dead, obviously. It's not obviously, but it is. You know.
Wow.
With some differences to the final version as well, so I don't know what. That's Evil Dead 2. So you just take the script, obviously. No, actually, I got that wrong. That Evil Dead one was the remake.
Right.
2013.
The remake?
Because that's the script for Evil Dead when it was called Book of the Dead.
No.
Look at that illustration.
Yeah. Again, it's all there. And that's Army of Darkness. But the coolest one of all probably is even the script for Within the Woods. Which is that short film.
I was going to say, was that the short they did before the Evil Dead?
Yeah. Bear in mind, none of these are original scripts, you know, off the set or anything, but they're prints of.
So are you going to look for an Evil Dead Rise one?
If I can find one, yeah. It'll be nice to sort of complete it, I guess, or, you know. But yeah.
I'm surprised they still make scripts now. You wouldn't think it would be a thing anymore. I don't know why I think that, but you know, that script, sort of the way it looks, always reminds me of something from yesteryear. Nothing
Yeah.
we would get like now. Probably just getting it like on a tablet or something.
Yeah.
You know, and not physically.
Well, I actually got all those downloaded from somewhere. I can't remember where. But I printed them out myself and then took them to a shop that I live by that put them in the binders. You know?
Wow.
Nice.
So
Clever,
yeah,
actually.
took some printing, but yeah, I printed them all out myself. You
know. Nigel Jones says,
yes,
love the Watford Film Fair. Met
I used
Ingrid
to go
Pitt, Tom Savini, William Lustig. You don't get that with eBay. No, you're right there. Like,
no, you don't.
I met Ingrid Pitt there and Tom Savini. I didn't do the William Lustig one though. Don't know why.
Ingrid Pitt. I've got her autograph because John Hall got his autograph, but I haven't met her. But John Hall has.
Oh yeah,
she would be a bucket list for me, as well as Caroline Munro as well. She'd be amazing.
Yes, she's lovely. Yeah,
she goes around really quite a bit now.
She's what? Caroline Munro. She's what you say?
She goes around quite a bit, like to conventions and stuff.
When I went to a screening of Evil Dead in London with my mate John. Back about, I don't know, 8 years ago, something like that, 7 years maybe. I've seen it several times in the cinema. It was not an original release, but you know, every year they used to put it on at the Prince Charles Cinema. It seemed to sort of stop when you had COVID, you know. So it was an excuse for me and my mate to meet up every year and go and watch Evil Dead. So we went there one day, and we were sort of a few rows from the front. And I turned around, and Graham Humphreys was sat a few rows behind me, and he actually sort of waved at us as well because he recognised us, like, you know. And he's like, and then he came down and spoke to us after, you know, the film finished. But Caroline Munro was in there watching it as well.
Was she?
Yeah. Don't know why, but she was. Didn't get to speak to her because she went straight down. Because even said to Graham Humphreys, I said, sure, I see Caroline Munro over there. Am I seeing things? You would know she is there. She is here tonight. I have met her a few times at conventions, but yeah, she was in there watching Evil Dead. So,
wow,
mad, isn't it?
So Gary says, you said Evil Dead wasn't released in the UK until 1983. I would have put money on it. I saw it in 1982 in a pirate copy from my friend's house. Yeah. Well, on that list I was looking at, it did say it was like shown somewhere in 1981. So maybe they got a bit of a
81. Oh yeah, but 81 was shown in America, wasn't it? But even then, it wasn't a full release. It was only like private screenings that Sam and Bruce and all put on themselves. Right. You know, they would basically hire the cinema and put it on. But the UK was the first country to get it in 83. I can't say.
Would you explain why the 82 one was a pirate copy because it wasn't released yet?
Yes, unless he just got the date mixed up. I don't know. I can't say that if there wasn't a pirate copy floating around in 82. I would say it's unlikely, but I don't know.
Because it's funny that
I know the first video copy to exist in the UK was Alan Bryce had it from Darkside magazine.
Bryce, yeah.
Palace actually sent him a copy, you know, and say, check this out. You know, we were thinking of, you know, distributing this. What do you think? And he said that he had the only copy in the country at the time. Wow. Even that was Palace's only copy as well. So he's like, you know, afraid his video was going to chew it up or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's seen it in 1982. I don't know.
Because it says it's funny because it come out in the cinema here on the 17th of Jan 83, but it was on the VHS on the 24th of Feb. So the
couple of weeks later, it actually opened in Scotland 2 weeks before. Don't know why. Right. Scotland had it 2 weeks before London, and then a couple of weeks after that, video. And that's why on the poster I got up there, the quad, it says now on video on it. Because rather than printing two different ones, it was like it actually is. Well, that's a little stretch of the truth. Not that I didn't do it on purpose. That's not actually a cinema one, believe it or not. And the way you can tell is the cinema it's slightly smaller than quad, and I mean slightly as in about that, but smaller all the way around. The only difference between the cinema one was it was exactly the same size print, but it had a white outline. to fit in the quad thing.
Yeah.
So the same posters were literally sent to the cinema as they were sent to the video shops. Only the video shop ones were trimmed, completely trimmed the white off them. Do you know what I mean?
Hey.
Well, because of that, that would probably be a video shop one, but it's, you know, it's effectively.
It was really printed for the cinema though.
No, they sent them to video shops, but didn't have the white border on it. The video shop one, the cinema one, had the white border to fill the quad because it's actually slightly smaller than a quad lot, but very slightly.
So did they just get what was left of the cinema ones and trim the white off?
Very possible. Very possible. I don't know. I just
wow.
guessing on that. But
so if you see one with the white on, that would be the original quad.
Yeah.
If you look at the original Jaws one, there's about a 2-inch gap, 3-inch gap at top white.
Yeah.
I think it's because they must have like slid into those frames and you didn't see that bit.
Yes, yeah. The mad thing about that quad I got there is I think it might have been one of those Watford ones, and this guy had a poster store selling all posters. He had a Belgium Evil Dead poster, which was only about a couple of feet and that big, like that. And so I said, how much you want for that? And he's like £40. I was like, oh, it's a bit expensive, but I get it. Probably won't see it again. I said, you haven't got any other Evil Dead posters, have you? And he went, let me have a look. And he pulled out this big, thick roll, rolled it out like that, and I started flicking through them, pulled out that quad. My eyes nearly fell out of my head. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's he going to ask for that now? So I said, how much for that one? Give me a tenner, he said. So I had the quad for a tenner. I don't know whether he gave it to me cheaper because I bought the other one. I don't know. Because he wasn't, didn't have a price on it. He just said, give me a tenner. When I'd seen that one as opposed to the Belgian one, which may well be rare, I don't know. I was thinking, if that's 40 quid and it's like a quarter of the size, that's going to be, 200 quid. When he said £10, I was like, yeah, right then. Try not to throw too much excitement in case he changes his mind.
I was just going to say, I bet you were playing it cool, going, okay then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, tenner. No,
go on then.
I'll miss
get my arm from behind me back. You've convinced me.
Yeah, I distinctly remember that being £10 and thinking, oh my God, does this guy?
Then he legged it quick.
And I've seen them, but like Forbidden Planet had one in their store. No, it wasn't a Forbidden Planet, it was a cinema store. Do any of you ever go to the cinema store in London? Shut down now.
No.
Opposite Stringfellows. It was a bit like a Forbidden Planet, but like owned, like by a private guy, not a chain, Yeah. It was better than Forbidden Planet, but it was quite expensive. And they had one of those ones, exactly the same one as I got, obviously not signed. It's not that it really makes a difference because I've had it personalised anyway, so. But it was tacky as shit and it was 400 quid.
Wow.
All corners were, ripped off and holes in it and stuff, and it was 400 quid. Mine is in pretty good nick. And another way of sort of, it's not a definitive way, I guess, but them quads came folded. So if somebody tries to sell you one of them and it's got no fold marks in it, it's a reprint.
Yeah.
That's how they all were, weren't they, in the 70s and 80s? They were all folded.
Yeah.
Folded.
It's almost like a faint line, but yeah, they're there.
I know. It's amazing now, but it's like a big business thing, isn't it? These retro things or the original quads. I think that's only getting more and more expensive as it goes along. It's never the bottom's never gonna fall out of that market.
Yeah. I mean, I
think the oldest ones I've got, and they are the old certificates. One's a X and one's a AA. Yeah. I've got Creepshow and Dead and Buried. I've got the two original quads to them.
Both really nice artwork, especially Creepshow. I love the artwork on Creepshow.
Dead and Buried's gorgeous as well.
It is good as well, yeah, very good.
And I need to sort of see if I can dig them out because I don't know what the hell I've done with them.
I got Evil Dead 2 quad, but it is a reprint.
Bit tatty.
I bought it as a reprint. No, it was actually in.
It's a reprint you've got
as a reprint, So
I've never got those reprints though.
Well, it looks. To be honest,
do they look good?
They look fantastic. I mean, is I'm not saying I would turn my nose up an off an original one from the cinema, but I don't think I feel the need to spend big money because when I've got practically identical, it's just because it's a reprint. I know it's better to have the original ones, you know what I mean? But if I never had a reprint, I probably would have hunted one down by now.
Yeah.
But when I had the reprint and it looks virtually the same, perhaps just with the creases, you know, unless I see another one cheap or something, which I would probably pick it up. I'm satisfied. You know, I've got Army of Darkness cinema poster, and I've got Evil Dead Rise cinema poster. Got a US cinema poster of the remake, and I've got a US poster. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, but yeah,
I think they've all got good posters on Evil Dead. You know, the posters.
They're
all good.
There's
not one that I would say we knows that.
I know this is going to sound obvious. People are not going to say they lie, but I never lie about what I've got. If I know it's a reprint, I will tell anybody when it's a reprint. You know, I've got an Evil Dead 1 press pack, but it's photocopied off my mate that got an original Evil Dead press pack. It looks identical because it was only like photocopied anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the mad thing is, I already had the set of stills from it, which I just bought separately. So when my mate got this press pack, and I said, "Oh, would you mind scanning them in for me so I can print them off?" You know. And he said, "Yeah, no problem." And he sent me them over. I said, "What was the stills like?" And he showed me the stills, and I'm like, "Hang on a minute." And I looked in my collection, and I said, "I had every one of them, exactly the same." So I had the stills.
Wow.
Without even knowing it. I mean, I just knew they were stills, but I didn't know they were the stills from the press pack. And I just photocopied this thing, and like I said, because they were really cheaply made. So you know, but I wouldn't lie about it and say to someone, "Oh, no, it's the original one." I know it was a photocopy because I've done it myself, and that's that.
No,
it's a good one though, because like you say, they were only photocopied anyway. So
yeah, so it looks pretty much identical. But you know, I just like to be honest because at the end of the day, I can't get everything I want as much as I want. There's going to be times where, you know, I buy things maybe not in the best condition, but if it's really hard to find, I'll get it and so forth. And, you know, like I say, with the Evil Dead 2 poster, I might get the cinema one if I come across it, but I'm not going to bust a gut. I'd rather pay the money on something else.
Right.
You know?
No, I know what you're saying. There's you can track them down, but if you go, you know yourself, if you go looking for something, you're paying a fortune for it. And probably if you just wait, play the long game, you probably come across it for next to now. Sometimes, you never know, do you?
It almost means nothing to me, like in a way, some of the value of these things, because I got no plans to ever sell them anyway. I'm never going to. I'll take these to my grave, or my kids have them, and they do what they want to do with them. But you know, and there's no way I'd sell them. The only way I'd sell them is if, like, you know, one of my family had to have a life-saving operation, and it's the only way I could raise the money. But other than that, they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I've had people contact me all the time over stuff. You know, I've seen it on Facebook or whatever, or my mate said you got one of these, fancy selling it, and it's like, and I always be polite, and I always say, look, mate, like, you know, if I was in your position, I'd do the same thing because that's what I've done to get some of the stuff. You know, I've seen people post stuff, and sometimes. Not intrusively, but I've just contacted them and said, if you're ever interested in selling it, let me know. And that's sometimes how I've acquired stuff. So I always say to them, no, you know, appreciate you asking, but, but no.
Have you got something that's actually been used in the film?
Evil Dead 1?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Kind of. Right. True.
What is it?
No, but yes.
What a strange answer, yes and no.
It's a little piece of tin that was on the roof of the cabin.
Oh.
And my friend who made the documentary, I've never been there, but my friend who made the documentary Invaluable, which is about Tom Sullivan, I became friends with him after I seen the documentary, but, you know, we hooked up when I was in Chicago as well. So I know Ryan quite well now, but, you know, we have hung out for a few days. You know, when he done his documentary with Tom Sullivan, he visited the site, and even if you go there now, there's bits of this sort of half embedded in the ground still.
Wow.
It's on private land, so it's just there. I mean, the roof collapsed, and so he picked that up for me, or he already had it, you know, where he collected somebody sent me that. So effectively, you could say that's from the film, I guess.
Well, it's part of the cabin, isn't it?
It is, I guess. This and another bizarre one, but I wasn't going to say no. It's a little pot of earth. And it's like stones, but it's sort of like mud and stones. And if you know from the Evil Dead 1, they never actually the trapdoor was basically a 4-foot hole. So when they walked into it, they would sort of crouch down, and then the scenes in the cellar were filmed actually in the basement of Rob Tappert's parents' house, somewhere completely different.
Good God!
You go there now, the hole is still in the ground, although it's sort of bits collapsed in it and stuff, and that's some earth from in the hole. Call me sad if you like.
My God!
But that was in the hole. So yeah, my little pot of earth in the hole. Also,
it's amazing, isn't it? Just
same person, Ryan. Same person, Ryan. When he was doing the documentary, have you seen Within the Woods? Any of you?
No.
I watched a bit of it on YouTube once.
Yeah,
but the quality was that bad. It's hard to make out.
Can you get it like somewhere?
It's never been officially available. Sam won't allow it for some reason. It was going to be on that Rubber Book of the Dead, but it got pulled at the last minute. Apparently, it's got music in it which is copyrighted. But even though Elite had already, was it Elite? Whoever it was, Arrow, not Arrow, was Anchor Bay, wasn't it? Even though they said they changed the soundtrack to avoid copyright, for some reason it was pulled at the last minute and never been an official video. Some people say Sam Raimi's embarrassed by it and he don't want it to get it. I don't believe that. Why would
no.
But anyway, when you see it's like a farmhouse. There's a shot right in the beginning when the camera sort of pans across, and it's a better way to tell you. Show you. It's okay. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but this is a shot from the film, the short, and that's the farmhouse, which is owned. I believe that was also owned by Rod Tappert's parents. And because it's like a panning shot, it goes past the fence. Can you see the fence?
Yeah.
What's there?
Yeah.
Well, that's basically little wooden fragments from the fence. Because when he went there, he picked some out because it was rot. He said it was sort of rotting anyway. He didn't destroy the fence. You know, it was like old wood.
Yeah.
It was sort of, when it gets brittle. We just broke some bits off. So my little bit of Within the Woods. And
do you have any props that are used in any of them? Like actual? Yeah. You do?
Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah. Now this one. Oh, and I've got a little brick that was used. It was part of the fireplace in Evil Dead 1, which still exists. Ooh. The fireplace is still there, or half of it, because fans go there and nick bits of it.
I've seen that in the video somewhere.
The only reason he gave me a small bit, he had some bigger bits as well. We only because of sending it over from the US and the weight. So he said, I'll send you a smaller rock, so at least you got one of the rocks. But he did have bigger ones. But yeah, so that was a rock that was in the fireplace.
So a piece of the Evil Dead fireplace is in this. Oh my God.
This is potentially the coolest item or useless. Now, when my friend Ryan went there, and he went to the site, he also knows my friend Ryan. He actually lived with Tom Sullivan he lodged at his house. That's how they sort of got to make the documentary together and stuff. But he also knows Josh Becker, who was involved. He worked on Evil Dead 1 and uncredited, but he was on Evil Dead 2. Josh Becker went on to direct episodes of Xena Warrior Princess and Thou Shalt Not Kill, which was a film that Sam Raimi was in, Ted Raimi was in, and so forth. So he's one of the clan, if you like, Josh Becker. Yeah. Now, that's important because when he went to the Evil Dead site to film the bits for Invaluable, he was looking around, picking up the bits of the roof and stuff, and he found this wedged in amongst weeds and sort of half buried in the ground. Looked like it'd been there for years.
I'm intrigued.
And it's a bottle, which is warped from the fire that burnt the house down eventually. Now, why I say it could be the coolest item, because he took this to Josh Becker, who worked on the film, and Josh Becker said we were drinking this brand of beer when we made the film, because you can tell by the bottle, right? Doesn't mean
So just left the beer bottles there, and it's been.
So it could be brilliant. It could be it could be Holy Grail, or it could be a piece of shit. But
it's a very strange place to find a bottle like that, though, isn't it?
It's a very strange place to find the bottle, and the cabin did burn down. Many rumours to how the cabin burned down. It seems to be that the owners. There's been many rumours, like stuff like there's a lightning strike and burned down and all that sort of thing. Some people say people used to go there and party in there, and they just must have left built a fire in the cabin and burned down. Yeah. But my mate who spoke to the people who own the property, they basically admitted it. I don't know if it's ever really come out, but they burned it down themselves because they were fed up with people going and visiting it.
Wow.
They thought it would let people go in there, but it didn't.
Yeah,
and it didn't.
So people just go see the remains now instead. But that's a bit down. Now, to me, that bottle has definitely been in a fire.
Yeah,
glass does not bend like that.
Yeah,
no,
without there being intense heat.
Is that actually a glass bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't bend that. That's been through some extreme heat. That has.
We kept the mud on it, obviously, because that's how we found it, and there's some bits of mud on the inside that's dried up. But yeah, and he said I can't say to you 100%, but the fact that what's his name confirmed that they were drinking these when they were making the film, and the bottle dates to late 70s, early 80s, it could be.
So Sam Raimi could have had his cake all around that.
Very possible. There's DNA.
Wow.
So yeah, it's one of them ones that I love it.
It's probably 99% positive that that's
once again.
Legit.
I'd rather tell you the truth than turn around and say yes, it was definitely from because I don't know that. Nobody knows that now. But taking into consideration, I think there's a chance that it was used.
If it was just like a bottle, it wasn't bent, and it was looked like a brand new bottle. You might be thinking too much. You might think
exactly.
Rubbish, but that looks as if it's got
to me the biggest.
It's actually melted, hasn't it? You can see it's like a slow.
Sunlight wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
No.
That has to be in some intense heat. And like he said, he found it in a place where it was sort of just half buried and half under, like roots and overgrowth that's just.
Oh yeah.
It looked like it'd been there for years. Something that wouldn't get seen because it's sort of half buried with whatever. So yeah, maybe a Holy Grail there. I don't know.
I would probably say it was. It does look like legit to me.
I would hazard a guess that it was mine.
Yeah. So
get it DNA'd.
Yeah.
From the mouth, no, the mouth bit.
Yeah. But when he said about Josh Becker as well, I thought that's a pretty good, bit of a tick, like to say it could be, because he said, we were drinking that brand of beer or whatever it was, and these bottles are from that era. So it wasn't modern. He found it about 5 years ago or whatever when he made the documentary, probably about 10 years ago now. But it definitely wasn't a bottle from that era. It was a bottle from late 70s, early 80s, the style. So, yeah.
We started filming in 79, didn't they?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it on the behind the scenes, but the sound, the clapperboard goes down. I remember looking, thinking, 1979. It didn't come up like 82, 83.
Yeah, well, it was finished by 1981, wasn't it? Because of the screenings it had in the Redford Theatre.
Okay, 79.
It didn't get a distributor till 83, and that was because it got picked up by Palace Pictures at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah,
and only then did companies who had basically turned Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell away and Rob Tappert, when they knock on the door of like video companies or whatever and say, "Oh, we've made this film," it'd be like a bunch of kids, it can't be any good, just turn them away. And when Evil Dead was so successful in the UK, only then companies in America was like, "What's that what's that horror film that's doing so well over there? And then,
so it was big over here before it was in the States.
Yeah, except for the private, except for the odd screening that Sam Raimi and Bruce put on themselves. Yeah, UK was the first country to have it.
Wow, they've got a lot to thank Palace for, then, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And Sam have even said that part of the reason he based Army of Darkness in medieval England because the UK
like a little nod to, as a thank you type of thing.
Yeah, even though it was filmed in California desert, but there you go. It's supposed to be England.
So Steve Ali from 1966. Hi guys, from Steve in Newport.
Not sure if that's my mate Steve. If it's my mate Steve, let me know, because I know he's watched some of your other streams, but I don't know what his screen name is. And the fact he's highlighting Newport,
that's close, isn't it?
He might be. Yeah, he might be sort of saying, he might just me. So if it's you, Steve, let us know.
And Sophie Lowe, 22. Evening, you gorgeous bunch.
So we got some liars in the chat then, obviously.
Good evening, me dear.
Good evening.
And Damon, hi guys. Hell yeah, Evil Dead is one of the movies that freaked me out as a kid and still does to this day. Yeah, it's got its moments. Like, I'm not going to say it hasn't. Sometimes, I mean, when I first put it on for Deborah, she'd watched some of the Ash versus Evil Dead, and she liked it. Now she watched it. Did she go Evil Dead 2 first? And she was a bit like, couldn't get hardly through that, but she did. But
I know loads of people saw Army of Darkness first,
And she really sort of like, she struggled with it, like, but she got through it in the end. I think that's the one that really freaks her out the most.
Yeah.
I've decided that after this stream, like when we're all done, this is definitely going on. I'm watching this.
I know.
Yes, it is a Newport accent, yeah, you got that right.
Newport accent.
Bet is to be precise. Excellent.
Newport too.
Might even know you.
Oh my God, it's the Mikey fan club. They're all coming out in force.
It's Dragon. Hey chaps. The first time I saw the Evil Dead, the original, I was either 10 or 11 years old.
That was rough. I bet it did. I was 15 and I was under the chair.
Hey chats. Hey lads.
Good evening, Mr. Chats.
Pliskin's Revenge says, out of interest, guys, I'm starting a community cinema in Newport and I'm looking to potentially do a triple bill of Evil Dead 1, 2, 3. Would there be interest in watching them as a triple?
Ooh. Sure, well, if I lived closer, I'd be there.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Is a community cinema where you just like literally book a cinema for yourselves and get the films your chip in?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I think it is.
Intrigued for sure. I mean, there was a pub in my local, town, city now. I don't know why, but where they used to once a week they used to put like a cult film on. It had a projector and a DVD player sort of thing. It was fantastic. You could go in there and you could suggest things, and they didn't charge. Obviously, you just pay for your drinks and stuff. But the one week we went in and watched The Shining, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Mars Attacks, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant, because it was just chilling in there. It was like being in a cinema, but it was in a pub, and people were buying snacks and drinks, and it worked really well for a while, and then they just stopped doing it. But I love it.
Actually on a projector as well to make it a little bit more authentic.
Yeah. But like I said, they even up for suggestions, because it was me who said, well, how about showing the Evil Dead? So, and they're like, all right, yeah, we'll show the Evil Dead. And then, so, they were open for suggestions. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that was really good. There's really like about a dozen of us in there, maybe a bit more. But
Steve, I missed the video rental. Great days. Yeah.
Yeah, but not like the Blockbuster days. I mean, like that's sort of the pre-certificate when you got all the old films, like when everything was coming out, and you just got a shop full of stuff you would never have seen in a million years.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's always something to pick, wasn't there? And you would look at something and say, I'll get that next time if it was out.
Yeah.
And you see that's on my list just from the cover.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you're disappointed, but some of the times you saw like a really brilliant movie, probably cut, but you saw some really good.
Yeah.
You would never, if video libraries never existed and that wasn't a thing, these videos that we're talking about now probably would never even be something that people would think about.
Yeah.
Because it kind of formed the sort of niche on the video market, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they were getting all of every sort of thing they could get their hands on. But if that wasn't a thing, would it have ever come to the cinema? Well, you wouldn't have got into the cinema to probably see all this stuff as well. The age were right.
No.
I got chucked out the Poltergeist when I was 12.
And then plus, like we said before, John, we used to moan about Mary Whitehouse and stuff, but now in the long run, she's done him a massive favour because we wouldn't have known about these films.
Exactly, and I think as bad as it seemed at the time, I think it's a huge part of our lives now, and it's a really memorable part of our lives. And like you said, a lot of these films would have just disappeared in the obscurity if it wasn't for her kicking off. So
I'm going to sound so old here, but people who are around now, honestly, you have no idea what you missed.
And the joy of finding
you missed out massively.
I can remember when I first got a copy of Clockwork Orange, which wasn't available at all in the UK, and it was like a proper copy off a Dutch tape, and it was like, and to some of my friends, I was like a god because I had Clockwork Orange, and it was like crystal clear as far as video VHS could.
Yeah,
and it was just it was such a fantastic feeling of getting these things that, like I say, we take.
I've got one from Finland, and
the what?
I wasn't say I was the first. I got one from Finland. I had a really bad copy that I got off my mate, and I could hardly watch it. So I got this one from Finland. I paid 30 quid for it. I still got it upstairs, and it was like watching it. It was perfect, and nobody could believe the quality of it when he was saying I've got Clockwork Orange. It's like watching the telly. Like, no, it's not. There's no way, because no one had seen that movie at all.
Yeah,
in a form that wasn't like raw,
He did pull it from cinema.
He was sort of like the man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sticking the 4K onto that and then thinking, right, I'm going to watch that old Dutch VHS tape that I thought looked absolutely spotless. You'd put it on and you'd go, oh, you can turn that off. That's bloody awful.
Well, I wouldn't change them times for anything. As frustrating as it was, I've seen.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't just really get
subtitles as well. Subtitles on what you can't take them off.
In subtitles was a thing on VHS, wasn't it? So.
And the times where, like, once they banned them, there was like the risk of getting caught.
Yeah.
If you had one on you, and you'd literally walk the streets, and like if you had one, you'd think, Jesus Christ, somebody pulls me over. I'm napped.
I remember I had.
What you got in your bag?
I got a copy of Faces of Death, didn't I?
Not me.
Yeah, got a copy of Faces of Death. Now, at the time, when I was copying tape to tape, I'd have to bring my video downstairs to connect it to the one in the living room the parents, had.
Yeah.
And record it that way. So when I record, I would copy this Faces of Death, but I was absolutely frightened myself that my parents were going to turn it on and see what I was recording. And because once I got it going, I turned it over. You know what I mean? But the fear of getting caught watching something like that, I don't think my parents would have been very impressed. When it switched over, it was on an autopsy scene or something, or
Yeah.
But but like I say, great times. Lots of stories. You wouldn't have these stories to tell if all them things had been available. I mean, I remember ordering Necromantic on VHS. Did any of you ever read a magazine called In the Flesh? It was a fanzine.
No.
I think I've got some of them.
Yeah,
actually.
Well, Steve, who made In the Flesh, he says, I'm going to be quick. It's a little mad story because he lived in Bristol initially, and I was talking to my mate one day, and he said, "Oh, this guy's selling, copies of Video Nasties and uncut copies of stuff we can't get." And I was like, "Oh, all right, give me a list." So he got me a list and picked a couple of films off the list and gave it back to my friend Dean, who then, when he seen Steve, got him. I told him what I wanted, then he would have to give him back to him, and basically I'd get him within a few weeks, And this went on for a little while, and then the one day, I said to Dean, I said, "Look, I said, give this guy my phone number and." Gives us a landline, give this guy my phone number, I said, and if he wants to ring me and tell me what he's got, I'll leave that up to him. you know, and then perhaps we can arrange to meet up or whatever. Save the middleman. So all right, so then I get his phone call one day, didn't I? And it's he said, "Oh, I'm Steve." He said, "Dean, you know, said I can give me your number and said, you know, to ring you up and tell me." So, yes, I'm chatting away now, and he gives me his number. I thought, it starts with 85 now. 85. I don't know if it's the same where you live, but it was state every house number on our state started with 85. You know.
Oh.
So I said to him, I said, "You don't happen to live in Bettis, do you?" And he went, "Yeah, 'cause that's where I lived." I went, "Where?" And he said the name of the street. I won't say it on here because, you know, when people making my evil dead stuff. And I went, "You're joking." So we lived in the same street.
Never.
Just round the corner. I'd walk up the hill, turn left, and his house was there.
Yeah.
What's the chances of that? And, you
That's
know, when I'd be like going into the town, giving my mate what I wanted, him giving it to Steve giving him the bill, and he's like just going to walk up the road and yeah.
That's
So anyway,
nuts,
but it was when I first seen Necromantic in. I know we're supposed to talk about Evil Dead, but when I first seen Necromantic, it was in the flesh, and you could order a copy directly from like Joe Buttercreek is whatever his name is. You know, his little company he had going or whatever. But what you do, you send a postal order to Germany, where he's from, and then they would make the tape in the UK, so it didn't have to come through customs. You know what I mean? Right. And it's mad to think you go through all that sort of nonsense, and then you can buy a box set and buy Arrow Video with commentary and extras. Yeah. I never thought in a million years Necromantic would ever get released, even in these.
No, I never thought as well.
With all the relaxed laws, I would have put money on that. Not
is the Blu-ray uncut?
Yeah, and the second one.
I've never seen them.
The
second one's a better movie.
I think I agree. Yeah. But, you know, times have changed. But like I said, I wouldn't change them stories from the past because...
Exactly.
You know?
No,
I used to walk to my sister's and it was like a sort of a good 35, 40-minute walk. Yeah. I would walk there, because I couldn't drive at the time, get her video recorder, walk back home with it, copy wherever I had, and then walk back with it again, and then walk back home. And my arms, it felt like I'd done a bloody a workout, and I did that quite regular.
Yeah, yeah.
I must have been off my rocker.
But it's what you had to do.
Yeah.
So
and as annoying as it might be at the time, it's like I said, I wouldn't change them stories for the world because you know.
I missed trying to choose what VHS to pick up the video shops, looking at all the covers, wasting my dad's time on a Saturday afternoon.
That was all part of the excitement, though, looking at the covers.
It was. And going down there and having, like, when can I have this film or 2 weeks' time or something?
Yeah.
You know, you never had a million copies like Blockbusters used to have, like, you know. Sometimes you'd only have one copy or 2 copies, and it'd be like a 2-week waiting list or something.
Yeah.
You know.
No, you were in the book. And you had your name in the book.
Oh, John. Yeah, it's my mate John there. He's in the Hill of the Deadites documentary with me.
I was just going to say Ashley Williams. It's not the Ashley Williams, is it?
Yeah, John is a top guy. He's big Evil Dead fan. Yeah. We went to Chicago together, me and John, for that convention.
Excellent.
All right. So he's in that documentary with you.
Cover art.
What, the Invaluable one?
No, he's in this one. I think I did a copy
of the Deadites.
Field of the Deadites. It's the one that me and John's in, and Emmanuel, my friend. It's It's actually seen me and John on the back cover somewhere.
My God, he's even on the cover.
Are we there? I think it's by here. So that's me taking a photo of John there with Robert Kurtzman, I think it is. But yeah, we're in this, me and John. We've even got our name on the same page. Like, well, I'll show you. Actually, it's easier to show you. I'd say. So I got a picture of it.
The story of Dave or Andy Ballas. You know, so it says Love Evil Dead. Yeah.
Where am I looking now?
So Nos says, even though this is my favourite, in my opinion, the greatest horror movie ever made.
Wow.
Regarding the tree, I'm pretty sure the original was cut in the UK. Yes, it was, wasn't it?
The Welsh guy.
Well, not the first time around.
What's that?
It wasn't originally cut when it was on video at Significant X, though, was it?
With Evil Dead?
No.
Yeah, the tree bit.
Yeah.
Not the first.
No, tree bit wasn't. No.
Oh, it's when it came back out. I was at 18.
No, it wasn't. The tree bit wasn't. It was cut. It was cut when it came out in 1990 as a reissue. The first reissue.
When they give it a certificate, yeah.
Yeah.
But it showed you wrapping around like her ankles, and then the scene just jumped.
Yeah, but originally it was intact.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. I think that's where the teacher turned the tape off.
Right.
Yeah. That's enough of that.
Wonder why.
I'm actually quite shocked that Nos likes that. I don't know why. Didn't would have been his type of thing. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So
this is on the end credits of Hail to the Dead. Which is on Shudder, by the way, but I think I did your copy of it.
I'm one of you fellow lads.
Yeah, we've
check that out.
A copy of my Nige.
Hey, it's got their names and Bruce Campbell.
I know.
Bruce Campbell's your guest star.
He's our supporting actor. You know?
Yeah, no.
I tell you what, I'd have that shot, and that would be my picture on Facebook.
It was for a while. Believe me. Yeah.
And Bruce Campbell's an afterthought.
You know, Bruce was in it as well. Some guy.
Do you want my autograph, Bruce?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Funny, isn't it? It's mad.
So Matt Chet says Evil Dead's the first film I remember watching on video when it came out. I was only a young fella, lads.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
My first film on VHS that my dad actually got out.
Right.
He got the video and the new telly the same day, and he hired out Jaws for me and Dressed to Kill.
Excellent. Wow. I'm not seen Dressed to Kill, but I have it.
Dressed to Kill absolutely scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. Going to Farmer, isn't it?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Creepy.
So, Phil?
Hey, Phil.
All right, Phil.
Rick 2000 Man. The original is the best for me. I still have the rental copy that has never been watched. That I got from
oh my God. Is it?
Never been watched.
That's yeah. I did see someone on one of the Evil Dead sites, so whether it's the same guy, they actually had a sealed one.
Are you right, Josh?
Wow.
It wasn't sealed on the outer box. The tape was sealed, you know?
All right, Josh.
Could be the same guy, maybe. Hey. Talking to my friend John, who popped up earlier on, the one I said who was in the documentary together. We went together to see Evil Dead Rise, the preview. And then when we met Lee Cronin, before we went in, actually, because he came at the front and had a cigarette, and we went up and talked to him and all. John makes use like graphic art to make posters and stuff and T-shirts and what have you.
Yeah.
Should check his stuff out. I'll have to let you know what is the Dark Ones or something. Sorry, John, put it on here if you want to. He'd done one of Evil Dead Rise, using like collage of pictures that was released. So really, really impressive. And he had two printed because he wanted one signed by him, and he was going to give another one away in a competition, for his page. Like, Lee Cronin was so impressed by it, he asked John if he could have it, and asked John if he would sign it for him. He said, "I'll put this up in my office." I swear to God.
It's unreal.
How cool is that? Yeah.
Who was that who asked if he could have it?
Being fans of your stuff.
Lee Cronin, the director of Evil Dead Rise.
Good God.
Because John asked him to sign his one, and he said, "Oh, this is really good. Yeah. Did you do this kind of thing?" And he said, "Yeah, I design posters and whatever." And he said, I can't remember what he said, but John had another one with him. So John said, "Well, I got another one here if you want it." And he said, something like, "Oh, really? And can I have it?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "Would you sign it for me?" He said, "I'll put this up in my office."
Yeah, if you sign mine,
That's what John signed his
swap
artwork,
signature
and,
tit for tat.
Wow,
that was so cool. Yeah.
isn't it? So Josh says he thought Evil Dead was far better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I expected a lot, and I think I got a lot as well. It wasn't as if I thought it was going to be brilliant.
I did have high hopes.
Exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So, and
I think
do you
it was
think there's going to
different.
be
It was more. It's going to sound a really weird word to use. It felt more intimate because when I seen Evil Dead Rise, I thought it was going to involve all loads of people and all different floors.
I know what you mean.
And it was like
I was
just
actually a little bit worried.
one family.
I was actually a little bit worried about the high rise sort of setting because I thought,
Yeah, I
I'm
was.
so used to the confined cabin, and I didn't want it to be like a big apartment complex, lots of bright colours and white walls, and but they managed to make it look like a dark and dingy. It almost looked like they were in a cabin. It was just as grotty as a cabin.
Well, you were just stuck in that one little flat, weren't you?
And you were having scenes like where in Evil Dead the bridge was broke, so they couldn't get away. The stairwell was broken on you, so it managed to keep similar situations and made it work.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was quite clever in part. I really enjoyed it.
I love these Thomas movies. Craig says, even though I love the Evil Dead, but without some sort of link to Ash and the Deadites, etc.
Like you said, it's fair enough.
It isn't even Evil Dead. Rise works well as a demonic possession movie, but it's not good as an Evil Dead one. Well, I know what you mean, but I still feel what we were saying there, Mikey, about the fact that it's got the same elements.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's got
and
that
I was thinking it's going to be like Demons too.
It's got like little nods and homages of it to them, so it's kind of reminds you that it is sort of part of it.
Yeah. And it's and the fact that your loved ones could suddenly become possessed and be the person you're no longer the person you knew. That was the same, as Evil Dead 1, where Linda kept coming in and out of possession.
Yeah.
And and the character in Evil Dead Rise was doing a similar thing when she was out in the corridor tricking her daughter and opening the door.
Yeah.
To me, very much an Evil Dead film, but like I said, I'm not dissing anyone else's opinion, but I don't quite understand why. It's not the only one I've seen that said they didn't feel like it was like an Evil Dead film, and I don't know, I just don't get it.
That
but then maybe
bit where she rises out the water as well and just floats there, that was like, oh,
that was something else, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's what it is.
Fatso Callum says, I managed to get my hands on the Blue Underground limited edition of Love Camp 7 last week on eBay. Got it for 25 quid, so I had to grab it. As it's so rare, it shows up on eBay. Yeah, that's not a bad price for it, and it's
25. I was saying 25 quid's not bad for that.
And for the quality of it, it's the same quality that's on YouTube. It's a lovely quality.
Yeah.
The DVD was quite grindhouse. It still looks good. Still enjoyed the movie.
It's pretty good, but there's better sort of the Nazi exploitation ones out there than that.
I thought it was going to be, like not as good because it's come first. I didn't think it would be as bad. I don't think it's as rough as the other ones, but it's got a certain air about it that's quite watchable, I think.
I enjoyed SS Experiment Camp and Gestapo's Last Orgy far more. I found Love Camp 7 a bit
was a really
slow.
well-made movie.
Gestapo's Last Orgy, yeah, it is.
It's much bigger budget, even though it's like worse, if you know what I mean, for what's in it.
I don't think it's as bad as what you said.
It's called The Book of the Dead for a reason.
John. That's the line Bruce says, or potentially Ash on the record. It's called The Book of the Dead for a reason. Earlier on when he says, I couldn't think what it was. And
yeah.
Well done, John.
And Keith as well, the painting is awesome.
Isn't it?
Yes. Even Jake. All right.
Hi, mate.
Brandon. Those movies. Nice photographs, my friends. Very cool. Yeah, definitely. And Nick Bensley says, did you get the Graham Humphreys book, Hung, Drawn and Executed?
Yes, we did. Well,
yes, I did, because Mikey gave me the tip off that it was on sale. Like, bang, I'm having that. It's stunning.
there's no Evil Dead in it, or is there? Am I right in saying the
I think there is an Evil Dead 1 in it, but it's not the original quad,
yeah.
which surprised me, and I was actually quite disappointed.
That's it, Mikey. Is
So,
that? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's the box. You know, the white box.
Right. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about. Okay.
I remember the label on the tape was yellow, so that would have been the one that was out more. It was easier to get than.
Yeah, some people say the yellow one's the hardest. Some people say the white one. The white one was the very first one I actually got, but I was probably just coincidence. And I don't know how long it took me to get the yellow one, but the red one I really had to track it down. But that's just could be the way it went. It doesn't mean necessarily it was the rarest one. It was just the hardest one for me to find, you know.
So Butler's movie says, I lived in South Wales all my 42 years and I didn't know there was an Evil Dead museum. Yeah.
Just saying now, like I'm absolutely fine for time, but I don't know what time you plan to stay on, you guys.
Well,
I mean,
well, what I'll do is, unfortunately, it's going to be 3 hours. Got work tomorrow, got an early start tomorrow, which I can't believe, but never mind. So that's, and then a couple of shifts after it. So I'm kind of stuck there for about 3 days. So, yeah, it's going to be 3 hours. So unfortunately, that's going to cut this stream a bit sort of short because there's loads of comments here. But what I'm hoping is in the future, obviously, we're going to do some, obviously go back to live streams of the Nasties. And then, but to do another kind of follow on from this, and I'll use this computer and at least I'll start it off properly instead of it being all over the place at the start.
So we can do an Evil Dead Party 2 special.
I mean, like I said, I'm fine, but I understand that, you know, obviously, I just wanted to, you know, I didn't want you to feel pressured into staying on because, you know,
if it was going to be
my collection, it's just that. I mean, if it's a couple of rare items you want me to chuck in front of the screen now,
I was just going to say, show us some like really rare, or you know, like some of your prized possessions that you absolutely love yourself.
Okay, let me have a think. Well, first of all, I'm gonna change the picture around again, so I'll try not to disappear, but if I do, I'll be straight back. So I'll go around and show you some stuff. Right.
Can you imagine walking around, John, looking at this stuff? You'd be there all night, wouldn't you?
It would just be amazing. So I've got a question of Brian here. Hi, Mikey. Have you got I've got a copy of an extended version of Evil Dead 2. Can you please tell me what DVD it's taken from so I can buy the original DVD of it?
Right. Okay. Let's just talk about that. The extended version of Evil Dead 2 was a German German release of it, and it was never official. So basically, they just chucked in some rough footage that was like floating around to call it an extended version, and it's so badly edited in. You know, if you want it for completeness only, not. I couldn't watch it like it is because it's so bad.
Wow.
But yeah, if talking about the version, I think it's I think this one I've got it. I think it's this one. I think it's in this one, I think. Yes, it's this one, yeah. It's in a box to start with. It's a German title.
Oof, well, but that's expensive.
I
think I've seen that, you know.
And then it's like that.
I think I've seen it.
And like I said, it is an extended version, but it's like they've made no effort to sort of join the footage in, you know, done well or anything. It's really
sold
bad.
On the packaging, that hasn't it? Look at that.
Lovely. So if you must be talking about that version because that's the only one I know of, and it's I mean, track it down if you want to see it out of curiosity, but don't be expecting. Oh, look! I got a longer version of Evil Dead 2 because it's really bad.
That's a shame.
Be nice. Let us know if you ever get it, Brian. It'd be nice to know if you track it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Gary says you're not kidding about Mike's collection, John. I really think it is something special. Yeah.
It's
the iceberg as well, Liz.
Oh yeah. All right, I'll turn the thing around now.
EMF. Good evening.
Do a quick scan of some of my rarest stuff. Okay, we see now.
Got it,
What have I
mate.
done? Okay, hang on. I think I have my hand over it.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so first of all, an original Evil Dead 2 video shop stand, but it's a bit damaged, so I got to fix it because the lighting is messed up a bit. Yeah, so that's pretty rare. I got pictures of me and the ladies from Evil Dead and signed pictures by them, and they're not very clear.
Oh, yeah. Who send him birthday cards? May I add?
No.
No.
Lucky boy. And then I've got that is a right.
Jesus, I jumped then. What the hell is that?
Now that's a mask by Trick or Treat Studios, but the costume was actually used in Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's a Henrietta costume.
It's actually used
in Ash vs. Evil Dead, yeah.
Oh my god!
So that's that one, and then I've got Pit Witch 1 costume from Army of Darkness, screen used.
Wow!
The first one that attacks him, and I've got the second Pit Witch costume with a Trick or Treat mask. I think it might not be Trick or Treat, but it's a mask. That's the second Pit Witch that comes out the wall. Costume, screen used. I have. Wow. There's only, I think it's less than 10 of these. Less than 10 of these shirts that was made. Evil Dead shirts, and me and John got one, and Bruce Campbell's brother got them made for us, and given to us when we met him in Chicago. So that was pretty neat. That shirt there.
God,
so that's really
right.
It's my row of Evil Deads there.
Look at them.
And there's like 3 Betamax colours there on the left. The red box is the 3 VHS then colours. I think the rarest one of the lot, which is a if I can find it. Well, I find it, but if I can get the right one. No, it's not that one. Must be this one. It's not that one either. Sorry. This one. It is. Okay, can you see that? Right. Looks the same there, but inside it is actually a review copy of Evil Dead.
Wow.
Yeah. That's nuts, isn't it?
Rare. Actually handwritten on the label, but that's they did it. You know, they just wrote on there whatever. So, yeah.
What's that one after all the Palace Yellow ones?
Which one? This one?
It's got Evil Dead in red along to the right of all the Yellow Palace ones.
I think that might be French. I think. Yeah. No. I think it's French. I think.
I've never even seen that one before.
No, neither.
And then I've got this is a unique one because a lot of people don't think this is particularly rare, and I don't think it's super rare, but it's the first sort of Anchor Bay release on VHS, but it was the Blockbusters one, which meant it was in a bigger case.
Oh,
you know, you could buy it on sell-through, exactly the same artwork, but in the smaller sell-through cases.
Yes, I mean.
So that one had the bigger case being a rental title. You
wow.
just don't see it around. Obviously, this is my it's my Evil Dead remake sort of collection. Yeah.
Oh, look at that bust.
It's nice, isn't it?
Oh,
that is nice.
And show some of these models of Pit Witch and stuff.
It's insane. It's just
bits and pieces like cards. And
you got your hand over your mic again.
Have I? Oh, sorry.
Oh, was that an Evil Dead mug?
Yes. Let me take it out of this. Take it out of this thing because I can't hold it without. Unless I can tuck it like that. No, I can't. Can I?
You can get mugs printed on with all the Evil Dead, or sorry, all the video nasties on mugs.
Yeah, I think that's what I got it
on
from.
eBay.
Yeah, not good, no.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. One of those.
Zombie on mine.
The original artwork, though, I love the original artwork, like the original UK artwork. Look at that.
Yeah. It's like replica Book of the Deads and stuff down here. Evil Dead chocolate. Hey.
Evil Dead chocolate. Evil Dead chocolate.
Yeah, it's not official. Somebody made on Etsy, I think. Just different VHSs of, Evil Dead in there, and
I remember that Green Palace, Evil Dead 2. I remember that.
Yeah.
This is a super rare tape. This is a super rare tape as well because maybe I should hold this. Stay with me. I know it's just not the best camera work, and I was good to Sam anyway. This one here, if you can see it, is I think it's Greek copy VHS, but it actually comes up Book of the Dead on the screen.
Oh.
Which is a couple of versions do that. I think there's a Spanish one. I think it does it. It's literally a handful, which is it's strange how.
So they've got all of that before it changes its name.
Well, must have done, but I think it's actually a later release. Like a 1990 release or something. So I don't know where they got that print from. I mean, it's a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, just a
Does
selection
it still look
of
the same type of lettering? Like as though it's like red and rippling underwater.
Yeah, exactly. It's same.
Wow.
Well, it says on here, I've got Book of the Dead US promo title, so maybe they had a promo thing about it, and they've actually printed some off with a promo title on that promo print, possibly.
Necronomicon there, which I got off John.
Necronomicon.
Yes.
I heard that right, didn't I?
Yes.
No, I thought, am I hearing that right?
Necronomicon.
Yeah. There's my 50 copies of thingy, but let's see nothing about that.
I know.
I'll show you a couple of bits, like I said, that's on my wall, and then I can show you the last couple of bits. It was not the last I got, but I'll put it back down when it's easier. That there is a program. It's only about 8 or 10 pages, but that was only available at the premiere screening of Evil Dead in Detroit on that date that you said, John. And also I have used tickets.
That's 15th of October, 1981.
But they never got bought.
It's $3.
Oh, yes. It says there, red for theatre, so yeah.
Yep. It's got the date on it as well somewhere. I hold it still enough. I don't know. Not focusing, is it?
That's insane.
Yeah, they were used, and that program was only given away at that event, the very first screening.
There can't be many of them survived.
I actually know a couple of people haven't, but there's not many about it, I don't think. It's just an Ash figure there. Is an Evil Dead 2 video shop poster, which is signed by Tom Sullivan, Danny, what's his name? Passed away recently, didn't he? Danny played Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, Cassie Wesley over there, who plays Bobby Joe. Bruce Campbell. I think Ted Raimi, something like that. I got them on it anyway. You've got Sheila's veil that was used in Army of Darkness. When you first see it as evil Sheila, that's the exact veil that she's wearing, and you can screen match it as well. You can see every single.
Yes, that was that was used on set. Wow.
Yeah, and it comes with a scarf as well, the long scarf. It's just a selection of Evil Dead stuff on the wall there, pictures and whatever. Oops. Screen used Evil Dead 2 page, which I bought off Tom Sullivan. The corner's written on it. It was made that way. It's meant to be a damaged page. It was made as a damaged page. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just some artwork. The print I had sent to me with a cast of Evil Dead a few years back. I signed it and sent it to me. All the cast signed on there.
Oh, look at that. I like that one.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, that, mate.
Promised my girlfriend I'd show her in the picture, so she's on the picture there on the wall. Anyway. Two, paintings and more stuff. My daughter.
Is she watching?
She was. I don't know if she still is. She was upstairs.
Hello.
This is a crew T-shirt that was given to Josh Becker on a set of Evil Dead 2, and I've had it framed, and he sent me with a letter. Comes with a letter to say that it was his and whatever. Wow. That's nice, isn't it? Just an Ash versus Evil Dead signed by Bruce poster. Just other Evil Dead bits and pieces, and seen that. So that's sort of the stuff on the wall. Oh, there's the bits. You remember the first episode of Ash vs Evil Dead? Can you remember Bruce Campbell battling some dolls in the basement sort of thing? So one of the dolls was on the shelf.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Yeah, the come to life, don't they? Attack them.
It's just like Funko Pops, and that's dark, man. You just snuck in somehow. Little bits and pieces, several copies of the video game there. I have the original Commodore 64 video game.
Yes, that's the one. I love that game.
These are all copies of Ash vs Evil Dead there. That jar of cars, can you see it?
Yeah.
It's on Ash vs Evil Dead. I think it's in season 2 when Ash goes back to his childhood home. That's on his mantelpiece next to his bed.
That's the exact one.
The exact one, yeah. And also
I have to watch that now to see it.
That was in his well, I got a picture behind it where you can sort of see it a little bit. I don't know if you can make it out. It's too small, I think. But it's on the left hand side anyway. It's literally on the sideboard by the side of his bed. That book was in his bedroom as well. I got some like promo stuff from it. Just more editions of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and whatever. With I really like this one. It's a French Army of Darkness, but look what it's called. And I'm sorry about that.
Evil Dead 3. Oh, he's gone off right at the exciting bit. I remember when Army of Darkness got a certain release over here, it was labelled as Evil Dead 3 on the cover.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of the earliest sell-through releases.
Well, actually, the Medieval Dead, I think, is a great title for it. They should have just kept that.
I agree.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is a bit misleading.
The Medieval Dead, at least it sounds.
Yeah,
it sounds like an Evil Dead sequel, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Jesus, my jaw! Obviously, there's a lot of stuff there that we haven't seen yet, John, as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah, no. You know the bits off that of his dressing table. I'm thinking, no, so they're mocked up to look like the stuff, but it's the stuff.
It's the stuff that was in. Yeah, what you see on the telly is the actual thing he's got. That's why I went. That was actually huge. Yeah. How the hell do you get all the stuff like that?
I know, because me and Deborah are going to watch the series again. I'm going to wait till that bit's on and go, guess what? I know what that is. This is amazing.
And the Red Book.
Johnny Cole says, good evening, chaps. How are you doing? Good to see 3 fantastic YouTubers together. What's the next Blu-ray?
All right, Jamie.
What would you say
I'm
what
back.
would you say is your next Blu-ray?
Sorry about
Have you got
that.
any idea?
Hello. Right, you see me now, or?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if did you see that?
Yeah, Evil Dead 3.
Yeah.
I said there was a release over here, an early release where they did that. They made it Evil Dead 3, so you knew what it was.
It just said it said Evil Dead 3 underneath the Army of Darkness, but that one just says Evil Dead 3. So
Right.
it's sort of that's a clock that was like a promo clock from the States when Evil Dead 2 come out. It was probably just giving out it got sort of like
And the Raid.
the race on it as well. Yeah,
The Raid is one of my favourite films, believe it or not.
That there, I'm not sure if I showed you it before, but it is.
Jesus.
It is a customized Sony PlayStation. Yeah. Made to look like the Book of the Dead.
There is so much stuff there that you just could not possibly put a price on.
I know.
That's what is unique, isn't it?
That is a custom-made cartridge version of the Commodore 64 game that actually plugs into a Commodore 64 and works.
Wow.
It's quite neat, isn't it? It's just Book of the Deads I have, like Evil Dead 2 Army of Darkness, and really a super rare German edition, which is there. See that one?
Wow.
Australian triple pack. I just
seen that one.
Oh, I've seen that before.
Yeah. The Army of Darkness statue-y thing, and like trading cards.
Well, I'm saying I've seen it on eBay. I've never seen it in the flesh, but it's quite pricey if I remember rightly.
Yeah, some more VHSs. And a model. These like just the stuff behind them. I mean, I got no room anymore, but so there's all stuff behind those, and I saw my
Did you get the 4K?
Yeah.
The Army of Darkness one?
Yeah. Steelbook, yeah. It's only there it is, isn't it?
Did you get the normal one as well with the slip, or was that just the Blu-ray?
Yeah. Yeah, I got that one as well. These are all like CD soundtracks and what they called them? They were Japanese.
The VCD things.
VCDs, that's it, yeah. Yeah. There's all books by Bruce Campbell and Evil Dead books stuff, and and all comics. More editions of Evil Dead.
That's the UK Evil Dead 2 I've got on 4K. It was in HMV. That's the one everybody's got.
Yeah. That's more models and magazines have got Evil Dead or Evil Dead related in it. And I will now show you if you've got time, the master tapes, which I think you've seen, but other people haven't.
I know.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. This is nuts. Really is.
I mean, if we do
the story behind the master
another stream, I'll go into more detail with certain things, obviously, because it's just.
We'll have to do another one because you haven't even started on the computer games yet. That you've got the big ones.
I think all new is never going to be just a one stream. This,
And let me just check them back up there. Now these are super unique, because I was in a chat one day about LaserDiscs. Sorry, don't need that on now, do we? I was on a chat one day in Facebook about LaserDiscs, and I got chatting to this guy, and his name is Vinny. Oh, hang on. Sonia somewhere. I didn't rehearse my lines, did I? It's on here somewhere. It's Vinny something anyway. I can't remember. It is on there. I just can't find it. It's he owned Elite Entertainment, who eventually changed his name to Anchor Bay.
Wow.
LaserDisc and all. So he was in the LaserDisc page, and he was saying that, oh yeah, you know, I used to have a company called Elite Entertainment, and this, that, and the other, and he said, and I said to him, I said, oh, you don't happen to have any Evil Dead promo stuff lying around, do you? You know, like, I'll buy it off you if I can afford it, and whatever. And he basically come back with this, which is the original Anchor Bay master tape of Evil Dead. The letter of authentication of him. Yeah. There it is.
What system is that? Is that like like an industrial thing that we won't have even seen?
Yeah. So basically, this was a copy they would have taken all the ones like used for the DVD print. So, you know, all them DVDs and LaserDiscs out there would have come off this initially.
So that must be like a digital tape. It must be like a really high quality thing.
It's a lot bigger, so it holds a lot more, and I think it runs at a faster pace, which means that they could fit more data on it. You know, it's not stretched out as in what you would have with you know, like long play, you know, and then you lose quality. You know, by running faster, the tape don't last as long, but because it's stretched out the image or whatever on the tape, it's obviously runs better. So he sold me that, and I'll only get one down because they're all the same. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He sold me 8 of these as well. And what these are, between the 8 tapes is around 3 hours of unreleased behind the scenes footage that only 20 minutes got used on the DVD.
So you've got a lot of stuff on there that's never been seen?
Yep. Yeah, like 3 hours.
And is that on that same like master tape kind of tape?
It's different type, but it's still looks more like a Betamax, but it's not. It's another.
Have you ever been able to watch it?
Yeah. Me and my mate hired a player to get it converted. A lot of it's got no sound. Only part of it. The thing is, and we sort of figured this out ourselves, where they only used 20 minutes of it on the Anchor Bay release, behind the scenes footage, it seems like about 20 minutes of that footage has got sound and the rest hasn't. So we wondered whether Anchor Bay received all this behind the scenes footage and thought we'll only put the ones that got sound on it on the disc, because people would complain and say, oh, you know.
Maybe, yeah.
So maybe that's why they didn't use the full 3 hours or whatever it is, something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of rare stuff on there. Also, when they did the commentaries for the release, that is that's Sam Raimi and Rob Tabbitt's original recording. Yeah, but you know,
Jesus.
Yeah, on a little tape, and that's
so that is the actual tape that was in the room that was recording them.
Yeah, and that's Bruce Campbell's commentary. Yeah.
1999.
Yeah.
Was
you
it
would think
98?
these things would be let out of where they're done from. You would think they'd
Yeah,
be like,
well, he just he had them. I mean, the company, I think it folded, so he still had this lying around. So he sold all that to me. I think it cost me altogether around 800 quid, but I had to have it because I was never going to get the opportunity again.
Wow.
You're right, yeah.
So that's that.
You're right.
And then since then, a completely different source, I've managed to get Evil Dead 2 Master Tape. There we go. By Optimum releasing version. Yeah. And off the same buyer, he done me a deal because he was asking for a price on each of these, but he sold the 2 of them for a bit cheaper. Army of Darkness Master Tape, which is even bigger.
There's people going to be crying watching this or screaming obscenities at the screen.
So that master tape there, is that like the only master tape of it? Or is there other master tapes?
it won't be the only master tape of it, but it'll be the master tape from this release. Do you know what I mean? Because when a company, when a company gets the rights to, for a particular film, they'll source a master copy from somewhere, and then they'll use that master copy to make their edition. So there's probably other master copies from other companies, but this would be from a specific company. The guy, when I bought these things here, these little ones with the extra stuff on there, the guy told me he got them from Sam Raimi himself, or his company, or his people. Might not have seen you as Sam Raimi, but yeah, these come from Sam Raimi's sort of archive, if you like. So that's pretty cool. And another thing I got, which is super, super cool, it's not particularly rare because it's a copy of stuff, but it is super, super hard to get. And when I got this, I was sworn not to copy this because basically he shouldn't have copied it for me, but it's 8 hours of behind the scenes footage from what's his name? Greg Nicotiro's personal collection of Evil Dead 2 footage. But 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen that?
I've seen a fair bit of it, over a fair bit of time.
Oh my!
But there's so much stuff on there that's not in the film, obviously. Complete scenes of stuff, not edited together in a usable way, but yes, there's like scenes that just never made it. Full stop.
But it's the fact it's from Greg Nicotiro's
this is a copy of his. This is a copy of his stuff.
It's not still his personal stuff though that nobody's seen.
It's not actually Greg's thing, but my mate who managed to acquire it, he made it look like, what was my thing there? Like a VHS thing, but it's actually all on discs.
Oh, right, fine.
I forgot it was a video at first. That's amazing.
Yeah, all on discs, it's been 8 hours altogether. It's fucking mental.
Wow.
And he's like, he had to pay a hell of a lot of money to get that.
I imagine.
I'm sure he said, it cost around $1,000 or something, and that's why he was very sort of hesitant to sort of circulate it all over the place because he paid a hell of a lot of money for it.
That's understandable.
He has the original tape. Like I've got these. That's what he's got. He's got the original master tapes of this. That come from Greg. I don't know. So something like that. But it's mental.
Yeah,
absolutely mental. A little thing I don't think I've shown is this is a replica, but it's taken from the original mold of the keys for Evil Dead 1. Even to the point
it's taken from the same mold.
From the same, they were used to make a mold, and then these was, they must have put the keys in clay or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you remember when when she gets raped and she comes back to the thing, she's reaching up to the door and she's trying to grab the keys, and the one gets caught.
Yeah.
So there's the bent key. Obviously a mold of the bent key, but that was the one that would have been stuck because of the bend.
Yeah, so they've taken the keys and they've molded them, and obviously the damage done to that key has been.
So this is actually just So these are only like a plastic. They're very light. They're not even metal, but they look really good. But they take.
Yeah, they do.
Still,
I love those. They're so good.
Still look pretty authentic.
Yeah, they look like metal, but they're not. They're plastic. It's mad.
Wow.
Well, there you go, guys. If you want to leave it there, I mean, like I said, I'll go into more detail with some of the stuff on the future one if Mo was up for it.
Well, to be honest, this has been amazing. It's been getting better as it's been going along. And
I was only getting a little bit worried at the time, and I think I haven't really shown much here, and that's why I brought up. I thought. But at the same time, even though I showed other bits, because I didn't want people to come and watch your stream and go away thinking we didn't really show us much.
Yeah.
But I'll go into more detail about certain things.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And there's still plenty we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure, yeah.
There's all like your arcade-looking type of game things as well, which I do remember. I can't remember them in great detail, but when I was,
I'd like to go through
blown away.
It's a folder, which is just full of different Evil Dead bump. And when I met Sam Raimi, he signed the front of it. Hence with his ghost. And Sam Raimi down there is just a bit of a squiggle. But he went through this, although he was a lot thinner when I met him. And he done that. So that was pretty cool, because that's like, that's Sam Raimi's approval. And this has got, I mean, it's just all sorts in it. I mean, there's pictures of my stuff, which I just like. There's like certificates I got with my costumes and all. Certificate for my page of Tom Sullivan. Just pictures and stuff. Just like if I found anything like leaflets to do with Evil Dead, and it's like
a scrapbook then, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, pretty much like a scrapbook. Ellen Sandweiss autograph there, like a French card of some sort. Betsy Baker signed autograph. Teresa one. I had that off Scott Spiegel. It's like a cast photograph. He wrote Evil Dead 2 with Sam, didn't he? So he signed it, and it's a picture of all the cast on Evil Dead 2 set. That's a copy, but it's a copy of the letters that were sent out to the video shops. I don't know if you can see it.
What to say? Get it off the shelves.
Whatever you've read in the press, this is what the DPP has said about the Evil Dead, and it's got some information. I can't remember what it is now, to be honest.
Wow.
Got that. When I tried to order a copy of Evil Dead in 1988, it was a proposed re-release that was supposed to come out alongside Evil Dead 2, which didn't happen, because when it did eventually come out, it came out in 1990, 2 years later. But I actually sent off a postal order to order this copy of Evil Dead 2, which never arrived, and I just had this letter back saying, basically, sorry, mister, but we can't let you have it because it's no longer coming out, sort of thing. I just kept the letter, so it's pretty cool. From 1988. Just some other bits and pieces there, some Tom Sullivan artwork and stuff. The remake signed. That's the thing I scanned off John's press back.
Wow.
Just stills. Stuff off the cast and all. Stickers, The pictures of Bruce, I just copied them. More cast pictures. Tom Sullivan stuff. That's an original newspaper cutting from when it was first shown at the Prince Charles Cinema in London.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. This is just birthday cards that people have sent me, and I sort of put them all.
The condition of that, for 40-year-old.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, and it looks authentic when you look at it closely. It's aged. It's not like a photocopy. You can tell.
Yeah.
An Evil Dead 2 press pack, I think. Yeah. Just tickets from when I've gone to see Evil Dead and stuff, and I met Sarah York for the first time. An Army of Darkness promo sleeve, like another promo piece. I see press pack for Army of Darkness with stills. Some Evil Dead bits and bobs there. That's an Army of Darkness thing. Patches. Adverts for the video game.
Patches? I didn't even know they'd done them.
Yeah. Another Book of the Dead ticket and a letter off Scott Spiegel when I bought. Cause I bought them off Scott Spiegel, though. The Evil Dead 2. More signed pictures. Here's my cards. One off Bruce. And
You've got a birthday card of Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, for my 40th.
Oh my God.
No.
You old bastard. So, yeah. Now, how that come about is a friend of mine contacted Don Campbell, Bruce's brother, and said, my mate's a big Evil Dead fan. It's his 40th birthday coming up. Do you think you could arrange Bruce to get him a card? And that's what he sent. So that's pretty neat.
It's amazing.
The other one, which is the one off Betsy Baker, Is yeah, she's just done that herself because she knew it was my birthday coming up, and so happy birthday, and it's got like quite a lot of messages in that one. It's Betsy, like, it's quite nice. I still have them for my 40th, wasn't it? I mean, that's the only ones I've had because it was a special birthday. You know, I don't send me a card every year, sort of thing.
Even so,
I know.
These are just they're not genuine, but they're like made to look like collector's cards of Evil Dead, but they've got all different types of artwork on them, and yeah.
They're not genuine. They look mint.
They do, but they're yeah, and there's just bits and pieces in there which is all falling on the floor. So yeah, that's my sort of like the little scrapbook, you could say.
Wow,
that's amazing. I mean, you just wouldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
You know, to have that, all that stuff, and that's just the main thing about your stuff is, I mean, that's that folder, and someone probably would have that, and it'd be the only thing they've got.
Yeah,
it would be amazing. Even a couple of them things, that's like just a tiny bit of the huge amount, as you can see for all the other bits.
Yeah.
Well, I've been flabbergasted all over again. I thought, oh, we've probably seen like most of it.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't.
Well, I thought I would be kind of half knowing this stuff, but there's a load of stuff in here I hadn't got a clue about.
See that there? It's
what's that?
I think it's a Korean copy of Evil Dead VHS.
Korean.
Wow.
Spot the mistake on the back. If you can see it clearly enough, that is. Oh, I'm trying to get the light in there. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What's that photo? But that's not out of Evil Dead, is it?
That's Chunk from the Goonies.
I was going to say the one from below Bruce Campbell.
That one underneath is Chunk from the Goonies.
How the hell did that end up on there?
I've no idea. That's such a cool one to have, you know.
He looks scared. That'll do. Get that on the back cover.
Yeah. This other one I like specifically is it's because the Evil Dead 2, I think. Here we go.
Absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it?
Can't remember what country this is from. My foreign language is not the best. But if you notice, they've put a spliff in the skull's mouth. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking a spliff. Sorry. Love it. I love all his magic.
Where's that from? Amsterdam.
Yeah. I'm not actually sure what country that's from. But I got some really, some really like I think that's like a Thailand one or something. I'm not sure. To be honest, I forgot that these.
That's
really rare.
Mental.
From Hungary. Yeah. Gonzo, what's it called? Gonzo Hal or something.
Gonzo's Halitosis.
So they've used the UK Graham Humphreys, ad. And referring back to that release, a proposed release for Evil Dead in 1988, which didn't come out.
Yeah.
Promo sleeves were made. It's got 18 on it though. Oh, no good line. Let me shot somewhere. Hang on, bear with me. So it's the original artwork, but with an 18 sticker and a sort of revised Alice in the back.
So it would have been in like the big box as well.
Yeah. That's a promo one because it never got past promo. It wasn't a promo cassette with it, just a sleeve. That took me a long time to find. I knew they existed, and it took me ages to find one. This is my mate made this. Is a replica of an original counter stand because none of us have managed to find one. So, and it would have fitted that inside it.
Yeah. Oh.
Sort of thing. That is a replica, but he's done a great job.
He certainly has.
I have an original Dead 2 counter stand. Yeah. It's pretty neat. Of course.
Let me know.
I don't know if you can see it up there. Let's show it more clearly next time, but there's my set of. Nope, you can't see it from there.
He's gone off again.
The plug out.
How'd you follow that?
I don't know. It's every time you see something, you think that's brilliant, and the next thing is even more brilliant, and it just keeps escalating, doesn't it? And
when you see all those VHS tapes all lined up, it's like it looks so impressive.
But you've definitely seen stuff like me, seen some stuff in here that you've never ever witnessed before.
Yeah, definitely. Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep messing this up, but it's just so sensitive, this thing. But it's I'm back now. Oh, did I want to do? I'm not sure if I showed you this before. Might have done, but it's screen used stocks from the opening sequence of Army of Darkness.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I?
What, the stocks? I believe there was 8 of them made. It's not the ones Bruce Campbell unfortunately had, but one of the Henry's men wore it like. So also I have a little thing made up there with Evil Dead 2 bits, a bit of skirting board there in the bottom, bit of vines that was on the side of the work shed, bit of broken glass from the window, because Evil Dead 2 was a fake cabin was built for the exterior scenes. It's a bit of tin roof there, top right hand corner, and a bit of coal from Linda's grave.
Oh my god!
All screen used. And this is a quite unique item. I'll finish in a minute, guys, because I know it's gone past the time. But I'm like, it's it's a bit of a weird one. When I met Bruce, or me and John met Bruce in Chicago, he was doing a sign-in. I went up afterwards and took a sheet of paper which he was using as a scribble sheet to sort of stop the pen leaking. You know what I mean? When they were blob.
Yeah.
So that was basically Bruce Campbell's doodles. You know.
Oh my god!
It's actually on both sides, but I can only display one side. But I just thought it was a really unique thing to do because it's Bruce squiggling on it, I guess.
Did you just take it, or did you ask him for it?
Yeah, he just left it on the table. And one of my friends said to me, "Oh, don't you want that scribble sheet over there?" And I'm like, "Never thought of that." Yeah, and I went and grabbed it, like so. Yeah, like
it's kind of like. I know what you mean when sometimes you got your pen.
Yeah,
you do that. There's like a blob on it.
Yeah,
they blob, don't they? So they tend to use them. No, I got the wrong thing on it. They tend to oh god, this thing. There we go, I think. Yeah, they tend to just do a little squiggle on it so it doesn't blob on someone's rear poster or something,
Yeah, that's right.
So, and I just thought, yeah, how unique is that? Because it's just Bruce squiggling, I guess. Certainly a Bruce autograph and no one else got.
Squiggled street down here, but I don't think anyone would want it.
It's what?
Wow, that's just all I can say about that. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Mind blowing.
Blown away.
See a lot more.
So, well, what we'll do is we'll definitely come back for another part, and we'll get. I'll do it on this computer because obviously the other one was just dodgy at the start.
Yeah, no, since you started it's been really good, hasn't it?
Oh yes, it's note to self. I won't use the other one again because it's just hold up for whatever reason. Yeah. But yes, so I want to thank everybody who's been on the comments. A load of comments here. I haven't got through hardly any of them, but it's just been because we've probably been just flabbergasted for most of the stream.
Well, hopefully I'm being too bored. I mean, once I get started.
No.
When Richie said, like, I know what you're like. Once you start, you won't stop. And I was like, well, I know.
Hey, thank you very much for showing us this all.
No, it's
been amazing.
To see this.
And I don't want it to come, and I don't want it to come across as showing off. It's showing it to people who appreciate it because there's so many people who go,
didn't come across like that at all.
You know what I mean? And I know you wouldn't, and that's why I do it. I'm not on you to go, oh, look what I got that everyone else haven't got. It's not that. It's basically I know people who look at it and appreciate it. Where
Exactly.
Other people
Were you
look
just
at it
a
and go,
fan?
mad. Well, yes, but
You can tell.
So yes, it's purely
and
the
it's
sheer.
great that you can show this off to other people who are just in awe of what it is. And the best thing about it is you never know what you're going to show off next, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I forget half of it. I was like going through it. I'm like, oh, I got this.
Good thing is as well, people, not only people who've missed it, but people who've already watched it and are going to think, I didn't get a look at that. At least they can like watch it again, pause it, and have a good look at it while it's on the screen.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that myself.
I am an
go back take a bit of a thing about it, because obviously, well, I can't really see the screen. I should have put my glasses on, but I'll be watching it properly with the glasses on the telly on the bigger screen. So yes, so apologies to everybody that I haven't got to. I really appreciate everyone who come in who've had great response. Got loads of people watching, just been absolutely brilliant. But it was a knocking bet. This would never ever be a one-off stream, And I think we've just scratched the surface as well. So we can go into a lot more. Maybe some of the stuff that we've looked at.
People who are interested, I'd like to show all the different VHS copies. If they're dead interested in seeing that, the different covers, the different sleeves, So I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm going to dig up every single item, but there's a lot more to show details of, which I just skimmed over. And
see, I like seeing all that type of stuff. So
yeah, massively. Just hearing
for me personally, like once we've done like a few more of the others, like as many streams to see this stuff as it takes.
Well, if people want to see more, then I'm well up for it.
I'm sure they will.
People turn around and tell you, like, when I'm gone, I was boring. I don't want to see any more. I completely understand, but
I very, very much doubt that.
I highly doubt that one. Well, I want to see more. I'll tell you that much.
I think the only negative comments has been is the fact that people don't like the film Evil Dead Rise, but that's got nothing to do with what you've shown.
Oh, and it's a personal opinion. I like I said,
exactly.
I never want anybody, if they didn't like it, they didn't like it.
I'm sure there's been plenty of people out there whose flabbers have been gassed as much as mine has.
Yeah, exactly. As mine.
I'm sure I can speak for John as well. I absolutely appreciate you doing it. It's been amazing.
It's been a pleasure to have you on, Mikey, and obviously
just to see you at one time in your life.
You
watch Hail to the Deadites, because I want to know what you think.
Yes, I know. I have to watch
that. Did you copy
that? I've got it all upstairs. Yeah, yes, it's all in the box.
In that box as well. In the invaluable box. Have I got that as well in this?
I might have done you a copy in it. It's only a copy, but I think I might have put it in there. I certainly put it in there somewhere.
Evil Dead the music.
Yeah. You got to go through that stuff.
I've got them all in
Evil Dead soundtrack, which I have played.
Yeah.
Elvis Dead.
Brilliant, that is.
Hail to the Deadites, you have. You have put it in there.
Yeah.
And the original Invaluable.
Yes, that's a proper one. I got them copies of Invaluable off Ryan Mead, the director. He sent me a bunch of them to give to people.
I remember you saying,
So that's a rarity in itself.
So we've actually got one that was owned by the director.
Yeah, I mean that was that one there. Well, I'll be brief because obviously the time. That one was quite a more of an indie release. I think he got and made it himself, and this, that, and the other. But last year or early this year, I'm not sure, it actually got released by Synapse on Blu-ray. Yeah, so that's obviously
nice. They've even kept the same logo.
Yeah. It's got that picture of me on the inside of the same as yours.
Yeah.
For that there. This has more extra features as well. I'm in this one. I'm in that one that you got as well, but very briefly, I'm in this one a little bit more. But
in the extras or in the actual documentary?
In the actual documentary, but only briefly. Yeah.
Weird.
What it was, when I met him, or me and John, well, I say me and John and Emmanuel met him, Invalue had already been out, but then he made a longer cut, and he added some of the stuff that he'd filmed when he was hanging out in Chicago. Yeah. So we were only in the extended cut. not the original cut,
Yeah.
because we didn't know him
Right.
personally then. You know what I mean? So yeah, you'll see me on it briefly. But yeah, I'm there.
Wow.
And, we've got more as well. He's put me in the thanks thing. Like in this one, he's added me in the thanks list at the end and a few extra bits. It's pretty cool. So guys, yeah.
Right,
Just
Joe, we're
a
going to bed.
Yeah.
couple of these up. Everyone's saying what a collection, quality collection. Oh my god, you know. So yeah. Everyone's thinking the same
Yeah,
thing
there's
as we all
definitely
say.
a little smidgen of interest there, I think.
Yeah, just a touch.
Well, thanks for everyone.
So anyway,
appreciated it. And
thanks everyone for watching, and thank you, Mikey, for coming over. And we will be doing this again very soon.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So thanks everyone for coming, and
thanks for inviting me, and thanks
I don't want to end
for
it there.
watching.
Yeah, and I
I
think
gotta
this
put all
has
this
been
stuff
a big
back now.
success. And
I won't be having an early night because I'm surrounded by stuff all over the floor.
Okay, so anyway, so thanks everyone. Really do appreciate you coming over and watching this, and will be another one coming up, and let you know about that. So thanks once again to everybody, and thanks Nige, thanks Mikey. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
See you, welcome.
See you now.
Bye.